It's time for Twig. This week in Google, Stacy, Ant, and Jeff are here. We're going to talk about the year in search 2021. What were the most popular searches in the U.S.? The answers may surprise you. Instagram says we're going to go chronological as soon as we figure out how. What could be so hard? And watch out for the robots. They're stuck in the snow in Estonia. It's all coming up next on Twig.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twig. This week in Google, episode 641, recorded Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. Don't touch my fun noodle. This week in Google is brought to you by Userway.org. Userway ensures your website is ADA compliant and helps your business avoid accessibility-related lawsuits. The perfect way to showcase your brand's commitment to millions of people with disabilities. It's not only the right thing to do, it's also the law. Go to userway.org/twit for 30% off Userway's AI-powered accessibility solution. And by Andela. Andela is a global talent network connecting innovative companies like yours with quality technical talent, so you have more time to focus on your core business. Visit andela.com/4-companies to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a 2-week no-risk trial with their vetted technical talent. And by Melissa. The U.S. Postal Service processes more than 98,000 address changes every day. Is your customer contact data up to date? Try Melissa's APIs in the developer portal. It's easy to log on, sign up, and start playing in the API sandbox 24/7. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free at melissa.com/twit. Well, it looks like Santa Claus threw up on the set here. Happy holidays, everybody. Yeah. It's time for Twig. This week in Google, the show where we talk about the latest from the universe, the Googleverse, the Facebook metaverse, and all of the above. Stacy, maybe that's why they named it Meta, so I would say Metaverse. Stacy Higginbotham is here from Stacy on IoT.com. Happy holidays, Stacy. I guess
thank you.
Santa didn't visit your house.
No, we are behind. You can see some wrapping paper actually just behind me on the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
And, let's see if we can do it. Raise the roof.
Wow. Oh, there's presents up there. Does your daughter know that's where you store them?
Well, yeah, it's real obvious.
So that's good. It's wrap as you go to Stacy's house. I'm the other way around. I get all the presents, make a big pile, and then wish I didn't have to wrap them on Christmas Eve.
I wasn't wrapping.
Oh, no, everything's done.
Oh, I'm so
from a gift
impressed.
perspective.
So impressed.
Because I'm like on it this year.
Last night, Lisa said, "Give me your laptop." I gave it to her. She said, "Look at the shopping cart. I want all that." This is a deal we have because I can't buy. I don't know what to get her. So, yep. Ant Pruitt's here from Hands On Photography, twit.tv/hop. Hello, Ant.
Hello, sir.
We came up with a new thing for you to do on Windows Weekly today. I don't know if you heard. Paul Thurrott was criticizing people who send Christmas cards with pictures only of their kids, not of them, or pictures that are too small, or bad pictures. And we thought Ant should do a Christmas card picture workshop where he reviews your card and tells you what to fix bore you mail it.
We may need to do that.
I think it's a good idea.
I actually do have.
Man, you just love giving Ant jobs. I feel like Ant's a busy man.
Well, you know the old adage: if you want something done, give it to someone that's busy.
That's true. You're busy here all the time. Also with us, the Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the Craig. Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York.
I turned my Christmas tree lights on behind me.
Thank you for doing that. I saw you get up, and I slowed down the introductions just so you can get back. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Isn't that cute?
All right, next week I'll have my space decorated.
You didn't say, when you looked at our set, you didn't say that's so lovely. Is it too much?
Yeah, it's too much.
It's a lot. I'm not going to lie.
I'm
But
kinda
you know
buried
what? Christmas is
in
a lot.
vows.
Add one. There's always room for one more poinsettia.
Yep.
You know, that's just kind of the rule of Twit.
If you're a member of Club Twit, there should be something on the Twit Plus feed from yesterday when I said, I got there from Burke quickly and said, we haven't decorated the set yet. And I made Burke bring it all out and throw it on the table. And it was actually quite funny. So
He literally threw it.
he was like, oh, I'll give you your decorations. Have a giant deer. So, hey,
Is that TIE fighter really Christmassy?
Yes, it is.
I don't know where the TIE fighter came from. Did you put that there, Mr.
I
Push-Up
did
King?
not, but
Okay.
I approve of that message.
All right.
No, I approve. I was just like, is it from the Christmas episode of Star Wars?
We do have an R2-D2 we could put in there, too. We have other.
Somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, right there. Yeah. We have other
I have
things.
2 poinsettias below me. Stacy has 1. I'm feeling very important.
I have a confession to make. These are artificial poinsettias. And
Now you have one.
A good dad right there. He's just solving that problem. He's like,
hey, I got a big announcement. Salt Hank went live today. SaltHank.com. Show the website. I think he's done a great job. Look at his logo. Isn't he cute?
I love
He
it.
looks like Chef. What's he making? Cacio e pepe just for you. Yes, and of course you can't make cacio e pepe without salt. So Salt Hank is my son, who is now selling a premier blend of sea salts curated from around the world. But don't worry, Jeff. Don't worry, Stacy. Don't worry that. We're sending them out to you. So you don't have to get them. But I just wanted to tell everybody, look at this.
Because I sure enough was going to the website.
Meet Hank. See, he really does have that mustache. He says, I effing love salt. Right there on the webpage.
How's his blood pressure?
It's fine. Salt's good for you. Nothing
I
wrong
love
with
salt.
salt.
I love
Nothing
salt,
wrong
too.
with salt. So, I'm really proud of my boy. He's launched his salt site. If you're looking for a gift it's just starting. So there's only 3 salts right now. The Calabrian Pesto Flaky Sea Salt Blend, the Essential Flaky Sea Salt Blend, or the Truffle and Garlic Flaky Sea Salt Blend. And there's also, I think you can get all 3 as a package and that kind of thing. So, and look at don't you love the logo? Look at it. Look at his little face. Isn't that
Now we
cute?
can never
very
shave.
Chef Boyardee. I like
It
it.
is exactly what I told him. And I also pointed out you can never shave your mustache now, dude.
Yeah, it's brand.
You're kind of stuck with it, my friend. You're kind of stuck with it.
Imagine if that had been Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, at least Hank's mustache. Look at that hair. He's definitely got something going on.
Can I make one small
Did they
suggestion?
style him for that?
No, I think he just. You know what? This is all he did it all himself.
Bootstrap.
What's your suggestion, Jeff?
Link somewhere here to his TikTok.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what?
should
It's
have that on the
it
page.
literally just went live
Just went
hours
up.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I will
You
mention.
want to brag about his TikTok too?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
I mean,
great.
and the TikTok is salt_Hank. But anyway, this is my son has apparently decided he likes salt.
You can't show this to me before we sit
Isn't
here.
that
for 3
mean?
hours.
Oh,
Video is amazing.
hard.
oh yeah. This
man.
is his specialty. Is this stuff? That's what all the TikToks are. Is him cooking. So okay, that's the plug. SaltHank.com.
Congratulations.
If you have family and friends who love salt. They will love
Is Hank
salt.
gonna do
We
any
have
cooking
5
for
different
holidays?
types of salt in our cupboard.
Good.
Right
You're
now,
going to get a
so
package
I'm
of
ready.
all
Got
3.
More.
Bring it.
We're sending them out to everybody.
Well, thank you.
So that's the show. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
We could actually spend, you know
Nice
what?
try.
We could spend the whole rest of the show watching year-end TikTok bests.
Where is
No.
that?
Tons.
No, we have
right
to
down
talk.
our TikTok.
Nope.
No.
There's tons of TikTok there.
Is there?
Tons.
There's a
Great
ton of
stuff.
Let's start with Google. It's called This Week in Google. It just seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
They do every year the year in search. In fact, this is interesting. You can go back to their previous years. It goes all the way back to 2010 if you're curious. Google's all about data, right? So these are search trends, what we shared, people who inspired us, the moments that captured the world's attention. Any bets on what the number one trending search will have been?
Vaccination.
It's a good guess. Among actors,
Delta.
Alec Baldwin tops the list. I'm not surprised. In the news, Afghanistan, AMC stock, COVID vaccine, Dogecoin, and GME stock.
Wow.
I love it. The Dogecoin is up and
Doge is
up and
on
cunning.
the list.
Yeah. Searches tended to be
Wait. Stay there for 1 second, right? What the journalists think is important, out of that, Afghanistan was out there, but pretty much nothing else was anywhere near.
No, we talked a ton about.
No, not
things.
us.
Isn't
Not
Jamie-
us. I don't mean us. I mean the world of big journalism.
Yeah, some people talk about stonks,
Oh no, the world
but
of big journalism talked about AMC and GME. Isn't that GameStop?
I know, but
now
Dogecoin,
this is global. So let me switch it back to the United States and see. I mean, that's all.
I don't buy your crankiness on this one, Jeff.
So look at the number one news story in the U.S.
Mega Millions.
Yeah, that tells you something right there. Right
We
there.
need money. And we need a lot of
look
it.
at there. Mega Millions,
Yeah.
AMC stock stimulus check. One news story in there, Georgia Senate race, and then GME. Those are all about stocks.
So my grumpiness stands. Thank you very much.
No, this is all about people needing money.
Yep.
This
right,
makes
and
sense.
I'm saying
We're a
that
nation.
I'm grumpy not about them. I'm grumpy about media. They're not paying attention to what people care
There's
about.
a section, this is new, I think, called How to Be, where you type in how to be, and these are the things that people filled in. How to be eligible for a stimulus check. This is the aspirations of America as a whole. How to be more attractive.
I search for that every day.
How to be happy alone. How to be a baddie. And finally, how to be a good boyfriend.
Wait a minute. What
that
is
was
a
me.
baddie?
How to be a baddie.
How to be a
What
baddie.
is a baddie?
I want
How
to be a baddie.
Jammer B, do you know what that is? I don't know what a baddie is.
Top 5 games: Among Us, Battlefield, Resident Evil Village, Valheim,
Of course.
and
Wonder who put that
Forza
out there.
Horizon. Yeah, it was almost all my searches. Yeah.
First, you put on black lipstick to answer your question about how to be a baddie.
Oh, really? Is that
Oh,
the
really?
answer?
Yes, that's the answer. Yes,
Baddie
there's a
what?
video if you search.
What is a baddie? By the way, the number one state for how to be a baddie, Georgia, followed by Texas, California, Florida, and New York. Related
Oh,
queries:
she's a
how to be a baddie
baddie is
girl.
baddie
girl
is a
who
girl
is
who is
always
always-
slaying the game and always on fleek. Okay, that is so ancient. Oh, it's Urban Dictionary.
Let's look
Okay,
at let's look on TikTok.
2019.
So I can't be a baddie is what you're saying?
Related topics:
No.
feta cheese. There's sometimes data goes wrong. When data goes wrong, it really goes wrong. Feta cheese, then feta pasta, then April 24th. I don't know what that date is. Then leggings.
No, you know what the feta was? It was Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that on the show.
What?
Jeff
Yeah,
we
talked
did.
about it.
See,
It was
I
the
bring you
TikTok
video
of the.
But how does that relate to how to be a
The zeitgeist.
baddie?
Oh, it doesn't.
Well, that's where
just-
I got to it from. Oh, it's related topics. Okay.
Oh.
So maybe people who search
Baddie is a girl who looks hot and
and
is,
slays.
In whatever she's
like,
wearing,
and
basically.
on point.
Celebrity
I
couples,
don't
Kim
think
and
it's whatever.
Kanye,
I think you have to make an effort.
Bill and Melinda Gates, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, Kanye and Jeffree Star. Really, in a way, the Kim and Kanye couple dominated this list. And Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal. How to pronounce. Number one word people want to know how to pronounce. Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Doggy coin. Doge.
Michael
Doggy.
Jackson?
Michael Jackson. How to pronounce Michael Jackson?
Really?
Wait a minute. Really?
This is America.
How to pronounce
two.
quinoa?
Quinoa.
Okay.
Right? Ain't
How
that
to-
quinoa?
That comes after that commercial.
Yep. How to pronounce Kamala. How to pronounce Elon Musk's son's name.
No one cared about that.
No one.
Really?
Yeah, they cared, but they didn't know. There's no one who knows.
Well, everyone did want to know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
That was the first question
It's
I had when I
Prince
saw that
time.
name.
How to style a straight leg jeans is number one. Then wolf haircut, corset, rings.
Oh, my daughter has a wolf haircut.
What's a
that
wolf
was
cut?
a big thing. This
What's a
is
wolf
very
haircut?
TikTok influenced, you guys.
Well,
It's very interesting, yes.
is TikTok influenced by the world or the world by TikTok? That's the question.
I think
I also-
TikTok,
well,
the youths are influencing on
Youths.
TikTok, and then the youths.
Top
We're all
5
influenced by that.
memes. Number one, Bernie Sanders mittens.
Of course.
Well, we should watch TikTok for the rest of the show.
Number 2,
I saw a wrapping paper that is just Bernie Sanders mittens.
that would be good. Okay,
Awesome.
I got to buy that. Hamster.
Excellent.
Number 2, I don't know why hamster. Twisted Tea, Squid Game, and Sheesh.
All of that makes perfect sense. I'm still can't quite figure out Michael Jackson pronunciation.
How to pronounce Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Michael. Anyway, we can go on. Number one recipe, TikTok pasta. That's where the feta came in. Yep.
Yeah.
And Hamantaschen are on the list.
What is hamantaschen?
Oh, it's a delicious cookie.
Oh, it's a delicious
Poppy seed
cookie. For
Never heard of that.
Hanukkah.
For Hanukkah, yeah.
Ah.
So that's the year in search 12. It's just the scratching the surface. Google goes deep on all
Do they have a
this.
fancy video?
Yes, would you like to?
It tears your heart?
I'm reluctant to play videos. Do you realize
Yeah.
Canada gave us a takedown for last. Oh no, that was Mac Break Weekly. We played Canada's tribute to what's his name and
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, no.
No.
You know
What
the other
was
guy,
it?
Mint Mobile's guy. Now, yeah, we both. It's
can't
the
think of his
same thing is
name.
going on. Deadpool. Anyway,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
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 Not Gosling. Yeah, that's who I meant.
Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
So Canada gave us They didn't give us a takedown. They demonetized our show.
Yeah.
And
Is there
then
music?
And then on Sunday, I played Smoking These Meats, and the Smoking These Meats guys got mad. So I'm not playing any Google urine search.
Well, we're going to see when we get to the
Play it
YouTube
without
stuff. We're
audio.
going to see how
nice
bad
work, Jammer B.
this is.
Do you like, there's Bernie, by the way, it's joining us.
Nice work.
Yes.
Gosh, that was all the way back in January. It's almost a year ago. Here's the urine search. I'll play the video.
Just no audio.
No.
on
Go ahead, take us down.
it.
This year, I'll do the narration. More than ever, the world searched. Como sanar. Cara para murahan. Kak vasa fasta. How to heal. How to honor someone? Oh, gosh. Will there be another lockdown? How to take care of your mental health? How to stay strong? Simone Biles. Where can I get the vaccine? Yep. How to
The
be
vaccine was this year.
resilient? How to make a comeback? There's Lin-Manuel Miranda on the stage of Hamilton. There's somebody else. There's BTS. How to be yourself. What is my porpoise? Somebody won an award. Somebody won a tennis game. Somebody's given a speech. Where there's people, there's power. How to move forward. Stop Asian hate. Protect Asian lives. How to use my voice. How to help our planet. It is, isn't it? Do you think it'll be upbeat as the end? They can't keep us there. Ways to help your community. When can I visit my
already feeling
family?
tears.
Yeah. Okay, now it's starting to cheer up. Now it's going to... Oh, I loved the poet laureate. She was great at the inauguration. How to be hopeful. Believe. Little Ted Lasso moment. Meeting people at the airport. Kissing babies. Kissing people who are kissing babies. Crying while they kiss babies. Search on. You know you're going to see this, though, on the Super Bowl and all the, the football games and all that. So don't take us down.
It's like, I'm not going to see it.
You know
if
what?
I don't watch that stuff.
When you're an actor, you're taught not to cry. They always say, let the audience cry for you. Don't cry for them. And I feel like this was that. This was like them crying made me not, maybe like, I'm not going to cry. Were you touched by that?
Yeah,
really?
I felt that.
It made me mad.
I knew I was being manipulated.
Exactly.
But I was still
You-
okay.
you allowed
I was
yourself-
like,
I felt I felt like it was kind of manipulative.
Some of it I felt.
And I cry, at weddings, and I cry, their commercials make me cry. In fact, a lot of
some
Google
of
commercials.
it, I mean, like,
I cried
is
ball
true
games.
hardship. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Simone Biles, like, I cried, like, when she didn't do her routine. I mean, like, some of this, you're
Okay,
like,
wait a minute.
it
Okay.
brings back.
I never
There
saw
is
it.
hardship in the world, but when Simone Biles didn't do a routine, doesn't really quite like.
Okay. I thought it was a big deal. I mean, she has worked her whole life for that. And she is a true badass.
Maybe I
And
didn't.
she
Maybe I
was
didn't know
like,
the backstory.
I can't
Okay.
do this. And if you think about what she'd overcome to be there,
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, but wasn't the reason she couldn't do it because she did so badly the day before?
No,
she couldn't do it because she got basically the equivalent of the yips. But one of the, like,
Yeah, because she did so badly the day before.
No, that's what she did badly because she had the yips.
But
She had the yips and then she didn't come. Okay.
The yips are mental.
And then also, just think about this, Leo. She was one of like, however, 20 gymnasts who were sexually assaulted through
That I
years,
understand.
through all
yeah.
that, and that
Do you
all
think
was
that was
coming
part
to
of
a
it?
head at the time.
Okay. All right. Okay, if that was part of it.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
well, I think it's going to always be part of her.
Yeah.
not something
But
that
all
you're
of a
like,
sudden that day on the Olympics, you think that was
Yeah.
why?
I think when you're like big pressure cooker and like you're worried and then
Look,
and then
I'm sympathetic and certainly she should take the day off if she's upset. Didn't bother me. I'm not sure it brought me to tears, but
I thought it was really. I mean, like as someone who pushes through mental illness or stress and to the detriment of myself, I was really proud of. Like that was a hard step for her
that
to
she
take.
did
I
that.
was
Yeah,
proud of
yeah.
her.
Right.
Okay, good.
That's going to affect different people because it depends on your own personal story. There's some people, just like Miss Stacy said, they have their own personal battles when it comes to mental health, and they understand the struggles from day to day to keep pushing through. And it just
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to be unsympathetic or anything.
No, you're not. I'm not saying that.
I wasn't moved to
Being
tears by her
sympathetic.
not
I'm
showing
just gonna
up.
I
be
can see why you. I could see why you wouldn't be moved to tears because you're not in that same space as some of the other folks are. So makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Way to bring us down.
I really thought Google would. I thought Google would do the arc and start like being really upbeat, but no, they just was like.
Actually,
Man, this year was not upbeat.
Wasn't a good year.
You were fine.
I mean, we got the vaccine, but then we didn't all use the vaccine. So then there's back here, and I mean, here we are still debating. Like,
Yeah.
It's still a debate on safety and all of that stuff, but yet people will choose to do a bunch of weird stunts, and I don't get it. But that's just me. People.
people are weird.
Anyway.
We got tons of stuff here, boss. Tons.
Really?
Yeah, we do. Although so much of it is like not. So much of it feels like Jeff put it on the list.
Oh, wow.
I wonder why.
Wow.
Adam must.
I have one major I told you so opportunity.
We'll
You're
get there.
trying to
We'll get
avoid
there.
it,
We'll
I
get there.
know.
Adam
Okay.
Mosseri says Instagram is going to bring back a chronological feed next year.
All right.
I don't understand why they've been working on a version of the feature for months. What
What's so hard?
is so hard about bringing you just do it in the order they were posted?
Data
Adam.
comes in, data goes out, right?
What are they
I
working
saw
on
what it
for
took
months?
Leo, I saw what it took for you to do bingo. This is stuff is where it was coming.
Bingo
Oh,
is a hard
touche,
computer
sir.
science
Yeah,
problem.
touche.
But
Yeah,
even
so-
then, it only took me an evening.
Not months.
Not months. After more than 5 years, I didn't realize this. Instagram hasn't had a chronological feed for 5 years. And this is my argument, boy, against Facebook too. You join these things thinking you're going to see the people you followed in order of the posts they make.
Yep.
And in fact, you're subtly being manipulated, and you don't, and it happens everywhere. Because we were talking about my son and his TikToks. I don't see his TikToks. They don't. They're out. I follow him,
Right, same here.
but they're algorithmically nudged out of the way for something
same here.
else.
I get notifications for his videos that's like 3 days after he posted it. It's sort of weird.
I think it's interesting that this is such a challenge.
What's
But this
interesting
is
about TikTok too, specifically, is that when I go to Salt Hank, it doesn't have the latest on top,
Yeah.
which is the way we think of all the web.
Algorithms,
It has
baby.
the stuff they're pushing on top.
Algorithms, yeah. Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, not the founder. Remember, Kevin Systrom and company left after a while at Facebook, thinking we don't like what they're doing. Mosseri, who's a Facebook guy who was moved into Instagram.
He was in charge of the news feed before.
Yeah, which was also not chronological, I might add. We're currently working on a version of a chronological feed a version of does not mean chronological.
All right.
I just want to say this.
Right.
There's
Say
not
it in black and white,
There's
folks.
not a version of Monday through Friday. There's Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
chronological.
I would like to skip Wednesday myself.
Is rigid. You Twig Day? You want to skip it?
Hey,
chronological is rigid. It is in order of presentation. And what does a version of chronological mean? It's not chronological. That's what it means.
Maybe Tuesday through Monday is chronological versus Monday through Sunday. I don't know.
Maybe they throw the big things in there just in case.
Talk about rationalization. In June, Mosseri wrote in a blog post that here's the problem, he said, with a chronological feed. Quote, it makes it impossible for most people to see everything, let alone the posts they care about. Putting them in order would make it hard for you to see everything you care about.
That's bull. You follow who you follow.
That's so self-serving. It's it's like, no. You care about what we tell you to care about, buddy.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna devil's advocate here. If you look at the numbers of how many posts, there is stuff that you might like to get to, you won't get to. I mean, say what happens to me on Twitter. Now that it says, 109 tweets above, right? I know I'm missing.
Well, you kind of control that though, because you're following more people than you can see. Yeah. So you could, if you said, no, I want to be able to see everything, say, well, I'm only follow 5 people.
That's why I use a list. Then I use a list.
Yeah, but I mean, that's up to you. He's saying, well, people follow so many people that we have to massage their feeds so that they see everything they care about, even though I'm sending them a very direct signal of what I care about. I care about these feeds. So this is just, to me, self-serving. We know why they have an algorithm, and it has nothing to do with...
Why do they have an algorithm?
To make money.
Oh, okay.
To make it sticky.
But that's why you should be in business too, right? To make money.
Okay, that's exactly in a nutshell. You have just explained the problem right there, which is these companies are constituted for profits over people. They want to make money, and they are using non-chronological algorithmic feeds because it keeps you there longer. Yeah, and then you see more ads, and they make more money, not because that's what people want. They're not doing what you want. Yeah, they're doing what they want. Make more money by making it sticky.
Can I just say that I was very impressed that no fewer than 3 senators' offices created fake Instagram accounts for teenage girls.
What?
So Senator Blumenthal, Senator Blackburn, and Senator Mike Lee. They all created.
A little creepy about this too, but keep going.
What?
Ahead of the hearings, they all created these accounts to try to understand how
they have
everything works.
Finsta accounts?
They
What's a Finsta?
Touche. But I thought this is kind of refreshing, and I'm sure a staffer told them to do it, but I remember in 2008 sitting through some of the Google hearings. Oh my goodness, this little Leo thing. What is happening?
Man, Jammer B is killing it in the TriCaster. I love it.
This is great. Anyway, they created way back in 2008 when we were talking about like Google search and harm. It was it was actually tracking. And they were like, am I given to understand that if I search this, you actually keep that information? Like they were shocked. But now they're actively trying to engage in the platforms to understand how they work, which, I'm glad. I appreciate that.
That's progress.
So
that's progress.
I feel like it is.
It sounds creepy, but I think we should explain why they created teenage girl accounts on Instagram. Blumenthal said the office created a fake Instagram account to pose as a 13-year-old girl to research what the app is like for teens and how it could affect their mental health. Because we've all seen the studies. And this was back when this was in the news, Frances Haugen's whistleblower, that Facebook knew and Instagram particularly knew that it was making young girls, some percentage of young girls, feel bad about themselves. Blumenthal said that during their Protecting Kids Online, this is exactly when he also talked about Finstas. Our research has shown in real time Instagram's recommendations this is Blumenthal talking, will latch onto a person's insecurities, a young woman's vulnerabilities about their bodies, and drag them into dark places that glorify eating disorders and self-harm. I wonder how he knew. I hope he had some expertise. Some experts come in, like a Dana Boyd or somebody come in and say, let me show you what a 13-year-old girl's account would be.
because it's not
I'm
what an
sure
old man
one of
thinks
his
it would be.
staffers had a kid and they were like, okay, go.
He
sure.
he said within a day of creating the account, the platform began serving the fake account known as a Finsta, content promoting eating disorders and self-harm. I'd like to know what that is. What's, it didn't say, you should
I'd like to know
try
what they
throwing
did.
up after you eat. It much more likely he's interpreting.
I get a lot.
Do you?
No, well, I get a lot of things that are very like disordered eating kind of posts. So I get a lot of weird I bet it's fad diets.
Okay.
How
How about self-harm? Do you get any? What would a post be encouraging self-harm? How would that even manifest?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, but you could see girls talking about struggles with that, or there's a lot of.
I don't know if this matters,
Boy,
Miss
it
Stacy,
does.
but is this in Reels that you're seeing it, or is this just the actual
Oh, sorry.
feed?
This is in TikTok.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not. I don't do Instagram. I'm sorry.
okay.
On TikTok, I get a lot of things like, only eat this for losing this. And what's scary is, because I follow things that my daughter's interested in, I'm half 15-year-old girl to these things, and I'm half like.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm like a menopausal 55-year-old woman. Actually, there are eating disorders on both ends.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, damn.
Because I get posts talking about eating this and eating that, but these are all professional athletes that are, following diet plans and things of that nature.
A lot of the advertising
Yeah.
on these sites, all these sites are diet supplements, protein powder, tiger milk,
Every single one of
or special teas that help you burn fat, that kind of thing.
It's the early days of newspapers and magazines.
Is that considered disorder?
it's like the Joe Weider magazine in the back of the magazine, right?
Is that
really
considered
is,
eating
like, it's
disorders
hard.
though?
No, I mean that's what I'm
No,
asking.
because I get some that are like nutritionists, but then I get a lot of like juice cleanses, which I do think
Yeah.
of as disordered eating.
But cleanses,
Okay.
but
I
the
get a
cleanses
lot
are
of-
huge. My own personal trainer and his wife, he told me the other day,
freaking love their
we take a
cleanses.
pill, it makes everything go through you. I said, I got some gummy bears. That do that. You don't need to take a pill.
Let me make you a pot of coffee. We'll fix that.
And then he said, now we're on the other pill that is cleanses are just BS, but a lot of normal people believe them. It's not disordered eating.
I know, but I also get like intermittent fasting that's pretty extreme. I get things like
I was doing
how
that.
to like. I get tons of this is what I eat in a day, and some of them are totally normal, and some of them are like a woman who's like my age, my size. This is how to eat 1,200 calories in a day.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you should not try
No,
to eat
no.
1,200 calories in a day if you're like.
That's not even breakfast.
Okay, well, it's more than breakfast for me, but yeah. I was like, that's like breakfast.
How
and
many
lunch.
eggs do you eat in one breakfast?
There's minimum 6 eggs.
Oh my God.
Minimum 6 eggs.
And you eat the yolks and the whites.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Do you eat them raw? No, you cook them raw. Okay.
No.
Because Rocky would
There's
eat
no
them raw.
need for
He
that.
eats shell at all because he's tough. He doesn't even chew. The whole egg just
He's like
goes down.
Gaston.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
There's also a lot of like how to keep your energy up while only eating like X number of calories a day, which I am like, oh girl.
I had a
Coffee
Cubano
is not
sandwich and
gonna
I
save
can't
you.
keep my energy up, so I don't know. I think you can eat too much too. I think that's also possible.
Oh yeah.
It's true, the sugar crash.
All right, Jeff, you said there's a lot of good stuff in here. Give me one.
Can I say I told you so?
Oh, yeah, actually hold that thought, because if I'm going to get beat up, I better do an ad first.
Let's pay the bills.
Better feel some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Why am I going through this? Oh, that's right.
I got some
just
salt
heard.
to buy. This is expensive salt, I got to say. It's
I
not
hope
cheap.
you're getting a wholesale price from Salt Hank.
No, actually, I'm an investor, because he had to get a. Oh my God! Am I sitting behind myself?
Yes, you are.
Nicely done, Jeremy. Nicely done.
If you're not watching the video, well, you're missing all the fun. That's all I can
There's
say.
like a Leo elf on the shelf.
There's an elf on the shelf. Yeah. Wow.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Good old TriCaster
It's
magic.
kind of mesmerizing.
It is.
It is.
It's the Leo as metronome.
And I have gone ahead and ordered some salt. Even though you sent some. I want to support him.
Thank you.
Well,
I think get out there. You might sell out if you don't hurry. It's exciting. It's really nice to see your kid.
Wait, Ed, are you shopping while on the show?
I did it. I started ordering right when he pulled up the website. I started ordering. I was like, I want to support Hank.
Aw, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You give me help.
Our show today brought to you by, and then we're going to hear Jeff tell me so, Userway.org. Actually, this is something I think at this holiday season we can all get behind. Every website, without exception, is a public entity. That means it has to be accessible to people with disabilities. And it's, there's three reasons you do this. One is the law. Americans with Disabilities Act requires it. You can get sued for it. In fact, a very well-known pizza company in the United States took it all the way to the Supreme Court. I've said this before. They had a phone number. They said, well, we got a phone number. If you're blind, just call the phone number and we'll get you your pizza. And the Supreme Court said, no, that's separate but equal. You're a public entity. You have to be accessible. That's one reason. Other reason is it's the right thing to do, right? Make your site accessible. Third reason, profit. If you aren't accessible, you're leaving 60 million Americans with disabilities out in the cold. They can't buy your salt. They can't shop. They can't participate. They can't fill out forms. Userway solves all that, and it does it very affordably. As a website owner myself, I was always nervous about this because it's going to cost a lot. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to have to hire developers. Userway has an incredible AI-powered solution that tirelessly enforces hundreds of web access guidelines, content access guidelines, with one line of JavaScript. It can achieve more. Userway can achieve more than an entire team of developers. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You can make your website accessible easily, affordably. In fact, first thing you should probably do is go to userway.org/twit, and they have a free scanning tool to see if your website's ADA compliant. It probably isn't, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe you did the right thing. Good. But if not, check out Userway. Userway's AI and machine learning solutions power accessibility for so much of the web. Over 1 million websites, Coca-Cola, Disney, eBay, FedEx, Walmart, and on and on and on. Userway, and you might say, well, wait a minute, I'm not Disney, I can't afford this. No, Userway is making its best-in-class enterprise-level accessibility tools available for a very affordable price to small and medium-sized businesses. Operating an accessible and compliant website, it's the right thing to do. It just makes business sense. And when you need to scale, hey, if it's good enough for Disney and Walmart, you're going to be able to scale. Don't worry about it. For years, Userway has been on the cutting edge, creating innovative accessibility technologies that push the envelope of what's possible. With AI, machine learning, computer vision, Userway's AI automatically fixes violations. At the code level, they actually are working on what's called the accessibility layer of your browser. Everybody's browser has an accessibility layer. You don't normally see it. If you're blind, if you're using a screen reader, that's what your screen reader sees, and that's what Userway writes to. It automatically generates image alts, so it writes those alt tags for you. That's where the AI and the image recognition comes in. It'll fix complex nav menus. I hear from people all the time that that's a real problem for screen readers. It's a real Achilles heel. All your pop-ups are accessible. All your forms are accessible. It fixes vague link violations, fixes any broken links. And it puts users in control because they can customize your website to make it work for them. Works with everything. WordPress, Shopify, Wix, AEM, Sitecore, SharePoint. Integrates seamlessly. It's easy to add Userway. It'll help your business meet its compliance goals. It'll improve the experience for your users. Just ask Susan Bennett, the former voice of Siri, the world's most popular assistant. What do you think, Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan Bennett, the original voice of Siri. You won't hear me say something like this too often. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're looking for. But every day, that's what the internet is like for millions of people with disabilities. Userway fixes all of that with just one line of code.
Userway can make any website fully accessible, fully ADA compliant. With Userway, everyone who visits your site can browse seamlessly, can customize it. It's also a great way to show your commitment to millions of people with disabilities. Go to userway.org/twit. USERWAY, userway.org/twit. Actually, we've got 30% off for you on their AI-powered accessibility solution, so that's even more affordable. Userway, making the internet accessible for everyone. Userway.org/twit. We thank them so much for supporting This Week in Google. All right, Jeff.
So last week, when we were last here, we had a discussion about Twitter's new rule that basically forbids photos without permission.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good step.
Leo thought, yes, I was going to make fun of you for that in a second. Leo thought it was a good step. I said that there were unintended consequences to come and danger. It was a well-intended step, but it was terribly written. And Leo kept insisting, no. You're wrong, Jeff. This is good. It can't be misused. It's wonderful. You're a fool, Jeff.
I don't think I said any of that. But okay, go ahead.
It was inherent. It was inherent in your
Check the tapes.
You're a fool, Jeff.
Oh, you think that all the time.
No, I don't. No. I was hopeful. I understood what you're saying, but I was hopeful that Twitter would enforce it appropriately so that that there was enough room in there that they could make it work. But obviously people are already using it.
Right. So what happened was the far right has weaponized it and is going after anything that might criticize them and taking down stuff and putting up all kinds of false reports and doing all kinds of things. And so, my argument stands, well-intentioned, but unintended consequences.
Here's an example.
Twitter said that they're going to be looking at this, so it's not.
I think they could fix it.
Yeah, they started taking down some of those who were abusing it, but it took a couple days and a lot of researchers yelling at them. And I like Twitter. I think Twitter is doing the right thing here. I think it's
here's an example.
That's how democracy works.
Right. I thought this was going to be part of the process to begin with.
Yeah, and I think that they worded it in such a way that it gives them the tools they need to take care of it. This is an example that was given by CNN Business. This is the article you're referring to. In January, Samuel Braslow was covering an anti-mask protest at a Los Angeles mall for the Beverly Hills Courier, 56-year-old local newspaper where he's a reporter. During the event, he tweeted a video of a standoff between anti-maskers and a mall official. You see that a lot these days. Mm-hmm. This week, this is back in January he did this, someone filed a report caused Twitter to lock down his account. The complaint led to him being unable to tweet until he either successfully appealed the report or deleted old tweets. He was stuck. Now, I don't know what's happened since then, but that's exactly the unintended consequences you were talking about, Jeff.
So the Guardian has the latest story. That's the one on top where this is happening. And Twitter has said, we got used, and they've got to fix. So a statement Twitter made said an internal review of the policy after making several errors in enforcement. Well, if you have a bad policy,
you could have.
It badly.
That does reflect poorly on them because you could see that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. There was no question that was going to happen, and they should have been ready for it.
After this rolled out, we became aware of a significant amount of coordinated and malicious reports, and unfortunately, our enforcement teams made several errors.
I'm shocked. Malicious people on the internet?
Exactly.
How could that happen?
That's what I said, is they didn't think far enough ahead with those things. And you said I was a fool.
No, I did not say
No, we didn't say that.
And I said, and I think it's still true, I'll stand by it, that the policy, as they stated, gives them enough leeway to handle this properly. What they did wrong was they just kind of knee-jerk pulled down these accounts.
Well, they also didn't write it well enough.
Didn't write it well.
No. This is the way. No. You're trying to use us here. You can't do that. And people managed to get through it. So they'll figure it out. But there's a lot of I told you so's going around the internet this last week, including right.
I think, Jeff, this is moral panic on your part. It is. It is yet to become. Look, there's going to be some bumps. Nobody said this would be perfect, but I think that we'll see. Let's look in a couple of weeks or a couple of months and see how this is panned out. I think it was really important that Twitter took a stand on this stuff and said, this is. They hadn't even admitted it was a problem.
Nope.
So to admit that it was a problem and say, look, we're going to do something about this is exactly the right direction. Maybe it needs some refinement. Probably more likely it needs less automated takedowns. But that's a problem on I was just talking about that
I
on
think
YouTube.
I think these were human takedowns, but they were interpreting.
Well, they need to then, train people better, obviously.
Mm.
So anyway, thank you for that opportunity.
Let's see if they fix it.
Yeah.
Let's see if they fix it. And if not, then they got a problem. You're absolutely right. But anything Twitter does, Twitter's also been used, and you've been the victim of it for abuse. And so I think anything Twitter does to kind of counter abuse is a good thing.
Yep.
I agree. They just could have done it better. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right.
That's all I said.
Do better, Twitter. Do better. I'm watching the World Championship match. It's going downhill fast. And there was a press conference yesterday.
World Championship match.
What sport?
Chess. What other sport is there?
Oh, okay.
And,
I thought you were talking about F1 or maybe the college football playoffs. Or
Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, was so offended by a question at the press conference, he says, do better.
I want that meme.
I respect that.
Do better.
I respect that.
He says, we get this question every world championship. It's a BS question. Do better.
Yeah, I respect that.
Wow.
I wish there were more journalistic approach out there when doing these little post sporting event interviews.
You rarely hear.
How do you feel about this big win? I feel like crap.
Yeah.
Is that what they're expecting?
But I also say it goes both ways because athletes are not notoriously forthcoming at these interviews. I came to play. I played 100%. Mm-hmm. We came to win. We're going to win. Right. It's not always very interesting.
We just scored more points than the other team.
I found that the team that scores the most points often wins these games.
Yeah, allegedly.
Unless it's American democracy.
Hey, here's a good feel-good story. Timnit Gebru, who was hired by Google to run their ethics division, then fired when she said things they didn't like, has started her own AI research center to, I think this is important, ask questions about the responsible use of artificial intelligence. That was kind of what she was supposed to be doing at Google, but they didn't really want her to do that, apparently. So that's good news. I'm not surprised. She's the founder and executive director of Distributed Artificial Intelligence Research, DARE.
With lots of funding from lots of places.
Good. The first part of the name is a reference to her aim to be more inclusive than most AI labs. That's where the distributed comes in, which skew, of course, white, Western, and male, and to recruit people from parts of the world rarely represented in the tech industry. Nobody better to do that. That's great.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. So, see, there's happy news.
It is.
DARE will also work on demonstrating uses for AI unlikely to be developed elsewhere. Gebru says, aiming to inspire others to take technology in new directions. This is one of the really strong arguments for diversity. You get a kind of a monolithic group of people doing it. They're all going to do the same kind of stuff. Here's an example.
Homogenous.
That's exactly. One such project, creating a public data set of aerial imagery of South Africa to examine how the legacy of apartheid is still etched into land use. Interesting. Oof. Yeah. So, good going.
Yeah.
It's a happy ending. And then there's the Estonian robots.
Well, I don't know if I put this in the rundown.
No.
Stacey may think it's one of those crazy things that Jeff put in the rundown. I thought
this was fun.
I saw this and I thought about my chat with Miss Stacey about the Murderbot book series, and
it's on my screen.
She thought it was cute that I thought I could take out a Murderbot, and I said all I need is a hose. That's all I need, and this right here is.
These are these little things. You see them all actually in the U.S. too on college campuses. They're little food delivery bots, and
there were a bunch in San Francisco at one time.
Yeah, right? And actually, there's always on TikTok funny little videos of them getting stalled and stuff. But here's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them stuck in the snow. Stuck in the snow. They just can't move.
Estonia would have bought them with the snow tires.
You can see the wheels spinning.
Trying. No, going nowhere.
The one in the front he's given up. He's just like, I give up. I can't move.
Smart robot.
It's like, this is the next generation's children's stories right here. Like the little engine that could.
Little robot that could.
It had to make us. It's like Balto meets the little engine that could. There we go.
What I like too is they're going opposite directions, and they kind of meet and say, "Are you screwed? Yeah, I'm screwed. Are you screwed? Yeah, I'm screwed."
Somebody's not getting their submarine sandwich.
On the other hand, you know what they need? They need some macaques.
Monkeys?
Did you watch that video?
Oh, is that the one right below it?
Yeah.
Is that how you say that monkey name?
Yeah, macaques. These are the
I had no
macaques of
idea.
Bali. They've learned to steal valuables from tourists and then trade it back for food. They don't want the backpack. They want the food. So here's
So he demonstrates in here.
It almost looks like Brian Regan standing there. Sorry.
Okay,
If you go along for a few minutes, it goes for a while, but he goes along. He gets the monkey to steal his phone, and then he negotiates with it.
So the monkeys
and shows what the monkey will take.
Oh, they just stole. Oh, wait a minute, that was mean. The poor little girl. She's got two shoes. One steals one shoe, and the other one steals the other one. They like ganged up on her. Holy cow! Look at this.
Oh
my God.
No, I'm not digging this.
Oh my God. Sunglasses.
The monkey would have.
Now
a
they don't
problem.
really need sunglasses or shoes, I hear.
Well,
no.
So
he's gonna let's see how far.
A.M. Espin of BBC Two is going to explain. Is there not audio on this, John?
I can.
Here, you do it, but you got to do it in a Ponzi British accent, okay?
Ponzi British accent?
Yeah, here you go.
So then I put on my shades, and so he has a phone here. I'm not going to.
Okay, he's got my phone. And there is a system by which I may be able to do this. Bartering.
An egg?
Is there
Hasn't
a
he heard of
school,
chocolate?
a BBC reporter school, where they teach them how to create? Look, he got his phone back.
No.
Okay,
That was
I don't-
terrible negotiation.
I think
he
that's
gave
not. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I think that's an example of an anthropologist who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to our own Congress member Devin Nunes, who has decided to abandon Congress. It wasn't working out that well for him and his constituencies to run. This is going to work out great. Trump's new media company.
Oh boy.
He'll be the CEO. What is the name? Do we have a name? The Trump Media and Technology Group. That's a good name.
Okay.
Big.
Yeah. Is this the whatever happened to the Trump Twitter? The
That's what this is, and this is
that
the
what this
SPAC.
is? Okay.
This is the SPAC
Yeah.
with like $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
It's all just shady as shady can be.
Yeah. Before Nunes, the company
They had
released the full names of just two top employees, Donald J. Trump and streaming content executive Scott St. John.
Oh boy.
Now they've got and then there were three. So anyway, congratulations. It's not up though, right? You can't. Can you?
No,
No. All right.
I don't think it's ever going to go up.
No. Politico.
That's where narcissists just have to stay relevant.
We're doing the
don't they?
politics
It's
real
a lot of
quick.
money.
These are all Jeff Jarvis's stories. I just want you to know.
Oh, okay.
Politico slammed for inventing a disease. News reports say Kamala Harris is Bluetooth phobic for not using Bluetooth. Remember Hillary Clinton got in trouble for using her own email server?
Yeah.
Harris does not want to use, and she's right,
Good.
a phone with Bluetooth
That's
because
the
it's not
point, yes.
secure. Well, now she's Bluetooth phobic, according to Politico.
Politico's bad.
I'm hating people throwing
Why
this
is that a
term
story?
around.
I mean, it's
Amen. Because they're sexist, right-wing bros. That's why.
The December 6th story says, quote, while a growing number of consumers are going wireless, the vice president is sticking with the classics. She's long felt that Bluetooth headphones are a security risk. As a result,
Silly her.
Silly. As a result, Harris insists on using wired headphones. Wow.
good for her.
What a horrible person. Actually, the real
Every
question
writer of
is,
that story?
the real
online.
question is, where's she getting a phone that has a headphone jack? Because I'd like to know.
Oh, you're not going to find that out, son.
Oh, man.
You're not going to find that out.
The battle between Roku and Google
It's good stuff, right?
is over for now anyway. Roku has become so big that it's able to finally say no to companies that are overzealous in their contracts with Roku. For a while, it looked like Google's YouTube and YouTube TV would not be on Roku, which would be a big deal. I mean, for Roku users.
It's a lot of eyeballs.
I don't know if
I
it'd
use
be-
Roku.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
And I use YouTube TV. I really like it. Roku's deal was set to expire this month. Roku warned customers in April that YouTube TV may be forced off the platform. Roku said they were asking for too much data about customers. Google was also threatening to make the YouTube app unavailable. That was the escalation, right? Well, you're not going to use YouTube TV, which is our moneymaker. We're not going to let you use YouTube either. Actually, YouTube TV was removed from Roku's store for 5 months. I didn't notice that because they didn't delete it from I still had it on my Roku, but I guess new people couldn't download it. At the heart of these conflicts, allegations from Roku, Google was making anti-competitive demands as part of its distribution agreements, including preferential treatment of its YouTube TV and YouTube apps within the Roku system. Roku did not back down. For months, Google publicly denied the allegations. CNBC a couple of months ago said, we saw an email that said YouTube executives, actually an email that was from YouTube executives actually making those exact demands in 2019. Axios, this is from the Axios story,
they publicly denied.
We've seen that email and can confirm the contents. In any event, this is not the end of these battles, not just with Roku, but with all of these devices. And services like Hulu, YouTube TV has its own negotiation issues with locals and the cable channels. They're all battling because there's a lot of money.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody's got to make a buck, got to make a profit.
Bundlers got to make a buck.
Bundlers got a bundle. Okay, was that all of your stories, Jeff?
That was
I
actually
put in
put
one.
that in there. He didn't put that in
Oh,
there.
good man.
No.
Did you put...
I put in something for Stacy, but if she doesn't like what I put in here, so I'm not going to mention it.
What is it? Let me look through.
Normally I see a little tag.
Well, I don't know. It says very IoT down at line 152. I thought it was IoT-ish. I thought this would be an interesting
Okay, if you think I get all the way down to line 152, wow. Very IoT.
Seeking a common language
Stacey, this is when you say bless his heart.
for self-driving
Bless your heart,
cars.
Jeff. Bless your heart.
So this
I
actually...
wasn't raised by a Southern woman. I was just raised in the South.
This actually is interesting because one of the promises of self-driving cars is that they will talk to each other, inter-auto communication that would help. You all arrive at a stop sign. The cars can say, after you, Alphonse, that kind of thing.
But it's very IoT-ish, it struck me. It's out of the home. And interesting to have to create a language for this. And is it going to be too late to enforce it?
This is actually about bicyclists. The company Argo AI, which develops self-driving systems, has released technical guidelines for safe interactions between robocars and bikes. The guidelines created in collaboration with the League of American Bicyclists.
Because humans do a really crappy job of interacting with bikes.
Oh my God!
Robocars can do a better job.
So much so that cyclists, I mentioned this a while ago, are putting up what they call ghost bikes, where there have been car-bicycle collisions and deaths. We have one down the road from us here, a white painted bicycle. Bicyclists are urging AV companies to incorporate the bike lanes into their AI maps. And furthermore, to put models in for typical cyclist behavior, like lane splitting or swerving around an open car door, so that they're prepared for such actions. It would really be nice. I actually have pretty much given up bicycling around here because it's too scary, it's too dangerous. I would love to be able to.
Yeah, I'd like to ride.
Have you tried
more
the pool
too.
noodle
It scares
hack?
me, even as an automobile driver. It scares me.
If I had a pool noodle on my head, what would I do with a pool noodle?
What?
No, the pool noodle hack. We actually see people around here riding with them. You get a pool noodle and you strap it on the back of your bike, and it makes your bike
wide.
Gives you wide, and people
And it's
kind
visible.
of avoid it. Yeah, it's mostly just to and it's true. I've seen, I am not one of those people because I ride my bike, so I know how scary it is when a car feels like it's not that far from you, but it's really freaking close. So that's an idea. But yeah, no, this makes sense. And at first I was...
Around here, people would actually take aim at the pool noodle. No. We're trying to see if they could just tip the pool noodle. I don't know.
If you search
that would be
for
horrible.
I know.
pool noodle bike safety, you'll find some images of it.
Now now the entire show comes to a halt.
Well,
as I search
You Google pool noodles.
I won't try to
Noodle
contribute to the
bike
show at all.
safety.
Jeez.
Here it is.
God, I just get kicked.
I rode around San Francisco
Lose
with a pool
poinsettia?
noodle.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
I totally like that. It's super visible.
It's visible. It's cheap. It's
This is Michelle Robertson writing for the San Francisco Chronicle. The lead will tell you something about it. F you, biatch! The man shouts at me from the rolled down window of his silver sedan. We're at the intersection of 5th and Mission.
Not a fun place.
Yeah.
Wow,
Angry sedan man can't get around me because I have a bright yellow pool noodle 5 foot in length tied to the back of my bicycle. It juts
really
about
like
3
that.
feet into the right lane, denoting the minimum safe passing distance per California law for cars and bicyclists. 3 feet.
I really like that. I like that as a driver. There's a certain spot.
I like it as a driver. I like
Yeah.
it as a bicyclist.
Okay, you wouldn't aim at me?
No, I wouldn't, but
I
somebody
feel like
in San Francisco
there are people
probably would. But
who would
no,
aim at the noodle.
no one here in this area.
It would just say, well, let me put it this way. Have you ever driven down a country lane with a baseball bat aiming for post office?
Mailboxes?
No, I
You're
would
a
neither
good man.
confirm or deny.
Oh,
doing such a
okay.
thing. Who would do such a thing?
No one. No one in their right mind would do such a thing.
Drunk West Texans. Okay, so anyway, I was going to say, to bring it back to a tech angle, just for fun,
Thank you
Yes.
kindly.
just going out there. I like this story, Jeff. I think, we've talked a lot about V2V standards, like vehicle to vehicle and
Yeah.
vehicle to infrastructure. It's not infrastructure. I can't think of what. And we were actually supposed to get there, but then the Trump administration ordered I can't remember if it was the National Highway and Safety,
and
whatever, that one, or
yeah.
it's either that one or DOT. They basically took it out of the language that we didn't have to do it by any timeline. So they took away the timeline. So now we don't have a timeline for that. And then the other thing is, this is really good information because MIT has done research on cars at an intersection, self-driving cars at an intersection, and how people will make, if I'm about to cross at a crosswalk, I try to make eye contact with people in the car before I step into the street.
That's a very good idea.
And there's no way to actually do that. So this is talking about creating ways to have the cars communicate with people.
Sending a ping.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah, it is.
So in our chat room, I think this is good. One of our chatters has attached, his name is Zircon. I mounted a freight train horn on my e-bike.
Nice. Nice.
Where can I get a freight train horn? Because I will do that. That sounds like a great idea. A freight train horn. What is let me see if I can find a freight train horn. How do you power it? Do you have to have a lead acid battery to power it?
Well,
If it's an e-bike, it already has a battery.
Right.
Yeah.
But you need a pretty
feet.
big battery for a freight train horn. Here's an example of what you might hear when you travel by Zircon. A little too close. I like that. I want that on my... I'm biking here. Get out of my way. Watch
There's a
that
site
fun
called
noodle.
Horn blasters.
I want that.
You think we're going to get
special.
a takedown from the freight train?
Costs $1,399.
Reading,
You can buy it,
Pennsylvania.
really? Huh.
Well, it's pretty heavy.
Well, I got a trike. I can put it
You
right
got
in the back.
fancy
here.
bike.
So we were talking at the beginning of the show about YouTube takedowns. Get ready for this. Over 2.2 million copyright claims hit YouTube videos between January and June of this year before being overturned.
Wow.
This is a report from YouTube, the copyright.
From YouTube. It's a new transparency report.
Yeah, they haven't done this before. Copyright transparency report.
This is good to finally shame the bozos who are doing this and put a stop to it.
Well, it is, as many as that sounds, it's only 1% of the 729 million copyright claims issued in the first half of the year.
Yeah, that's only the bad ones they caught, even though there was a heck of
Well,
them.
it's this automated content ID system which catches us all the time for all sorts of things, including Canada. When users dispute the claims, which we often do, we didn't dispute the Canada claim because it wasn't really fair use. Yeah, I just didn't have enough stories, so I just played a piece. When users disputed these claims, the case was resolved. Although I thought it was kind of pro-Canada, right? And I thought it would Canada wouldn't mind if I used it.
It was great fodder at the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, when users dispute the claims, the case is resolved in favor of the uploader of the video 60% of the time. So 729 million claims, 60% of them overturned. YouTube creators have long complained. They could have talked to me about this, about how the platform handles claims, because it always assumes you're in the wrong as an uploader, right? It's just by default. Right. The copyright holder, whether or not the person is even the copyright holder.
Fair use.
Yeah. And, it's problematic. So the report says no system is perfect and that errors happen even with established guardrails or as you would have it, fun noodles in place to prevent the abuse of enforcement mechanisms. I think that's probably what Google's using is, it's a couple of pool noodles to keep them, keep the guardrails. When disputes take place, the process provided by YouTube provides real recourse. And over 60% of these disputes were resolved in favor of the uploader. If 60% of 729 million Content ID copyright claims, if 60% are wrong,
right,
there's something wrong with the system.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And the prejudice that it's going to favor if it's going to be wrong, it's going to be wrong in favor of the alleged copyright holders.
Right. Maybe the fact that they put this out here is indicative of the fact that they're going to start looking at how to fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope so.
That's the hope anyway.
It really is a chilling effect. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't do, even though I know it would be fair use, just because we don't want to, enrage YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it really, and frankly, YouTube isn't that important to our downloads or to our revenue. But I want to make sure we're on YouTube for the audience.
Don't want to have strikes.
We could leave YouTube. It's really. JT says in our chat room, Sony has taken me down for sharing NASA Apollo 8 video, which is completely public domain. Because it was in Sony's libraries. And they forgot to say, well, we're using it, but it's not part of our content ID. Same thing happened with National Geographic. We got a takedown from National Geographic because we had some NASA footage in one of our shows. And it was because National Geographic had the same footage. And Content ID just says, well, yeah, they own it because they used it.
Yeah, I think, because it would be reprehensible and truly evil for Google to be like, oh, we see that this is a real problem. We're publishing this problem and screw everybody else out there. We're not going to do anything about it. So I think this is probably them collecting data on the path to fix it.
This isn't that big. I could put this on my bicycle. 170 decibels.
We're still building the frame.
It might be kind of loud.
Good Lord!
You got the tank on the back. You can put the tank.
That's not bad.
That'll go on your trike.
170 decibels. I'd have to wear earplugs.
Yeah, you would.
It has a air valve solenoid for increased airflow to sound louder.
See, what we need here is Stacy. We need to put that in the studio, and when you do something bad, Stacy can hit.
That would work. Should we get that?
Ant too. I'm not ready to
I appreciate her being considerate of me. Thank you, man.
You've done nothing to deserve it.
Google was saying that workers would return to office January 10th. They've backed down on that. They sent out an email on Thursday, said, no. They still encourage.
Do y'all think this is the new normal?
Yeah, I do.
And I ask this because...
No, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So then what do we do going forward? Do we just... Are we just going to adapt over the next 3 to 5 years to just...
Stacey, are you thinking about in-person events?
I'm thinking about in-person. I am going to CES. I have decided that
I want to go.
Omicron or how... I am still going, so...
You're going to CES. I just got to know you won't be here in January.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Were you?
So let me explain how this show works. John writes down everything each of you says and hands me a note, and I read it. And then that way, Stacy just said she won't be here. It's in January. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I was just confused. I was like,
I was buying an air horn. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did I not say something out loud again?
No, I'm just confirming it. Yes, you're not going to be here.
Apparently, we're allowed to buy things on the show.
You're going to see, yes. So I'm not buying anything. I'm not tweeting. I'm the only guy here actually paying attention. Not that
am
it's
I going to
making
CES?
any
So
difference.
You just weren't.
Although I am.
How well is that going?
I'm looking at the next story. In fact, I had already started the next story.
But she was making a point.
Yeah, but she was making a point.
Miss Stacy was talking
So that
about
was
CES,
the story. Yes.
Yeah, I was just trying to.
It is the new
follow along
normal.
and add to the story.
I think it is the new normal, and I think that part of it is, I don't know so much about going to events, but working that's an industrial era notion that you have to come to a place of work from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
A lot of industrial era bosses are going to insist on it.
Yeah, but it's industrial era. It's from when you were making widgets and you had to have hands on.
So true.
But with knowledge workers, and many jobs are knowledge based right now. A lot of our staff doesn't come in.
Yeah, I used to work.
Non-faculty
Are you
at
okay
my
with
school
that?
was
'Cause-
Oh,
just told.
Yeah, that's our policy, and we're doing 4-day work weeks starting next year.
Oh.
Oh, to match the 4-day school work weeks? Because that's a thing.
That's a thing, too?
That's going to be. Yeah, a lot of schools are having it, like teacher burnout. So they're going to 4-day work weeks. But if you're a parent and your office has not gone to a 4-day work week, you're kind of like
torture.
That's not why we're doing it, but I'm glad we are doing it. I don't know if any schools in this area are
good for the teachers.
Yeah, I was going to say you
teachers
should
are
look into
struggling.
that because that's like some of the wider reaching effects of this.
Well,
that
and
kind of
I would say good for the teachers, except it's not good for the students because
it's not.
They're getting 20% less education.
I agree. It's tougher on the students too, but I have a teacher in my family, and some of the stuff that she's been dealing with from the COVID restrictions and all of that, in addition to the kids being pretty craptastic with their behavior, in addition to the parents being craptastic, it's really burning these teachers out.
I know.
And it's not their fault.
But
they just want to do the best for the kids, but people have mask mandates. Some people don't have mask mandates. People have assignments that are due at such and such time, and they throw the excuse, well, I can't do this assignment because I'm not well, and there's nothing totally wrong. They're using COVID as an excuse when it really isn't an excuse. It's a mess. People are just gaming the system all around, and teachers are fed up.
Well, I don't blame them, but what are we going to do about education? Because that's kind of important.
Right. And
pay teachers better.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're not making enough money to keep fighting as hard as they're
that's different. Yeah, if they're just not being paid.
Well, and they're
half the
also
country
being
doesn't
asked to do
respect
way
education.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard. I know. It's really hard these days. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think more and more we're going to be seeing people work remotely. It's interesting because our sponsor for this hour is a company called Andela. Let's take a little break. We'll come back with more. Actually, the changelog coming up. Andela is when I talked to the folks at Andela, I loved what they told me. Their motto is brilliance is evenly distributed, but opportunity is not. I love that. So brilliance is global. There are really great engineers and programmers all over the world. The problem is the jobs up to now, they had to live nearby. Well, times are changing, and more companies are saying we want global talent. They're some of the best programmers in the world. They don't have to live next door. Andela can hook you up. They're a global talent network with a mission to connect that brilliance with opportunity. These days, your company is expected to move faster than ever before to stay ahead of the competition. And it's hard to find time to both build and onboard an amazing engineering team. You need it. But that's where Andela can help. They can get you there. They're the world's first talent network connecting innovative companies like yours with top-tier vetted engineers. So you have more time to focus on your core business. Andela has a very rigorous vetting process. Their hiring process will make sure you're getting the best technical talent. It's quick and efficient, but it maintains the highest quality admission standards. You're gonna get top quality engineers. It's a truly global talent pool. But I want to reassure you because, for instance, these engineers are fully embedded. They're really part of your company. They're embedded in your organization. They guarantee 5 hours of overlapping working hours with the rest of the engineering team, so it's not like they're working at night, you're working at day. Although sometimes the shift in hours is helpful to give you a broader footprint so you can help customers and things like that. With Andela, you could tap into their pool of highly qualified talent from around the world, cut your hiring timeline down from months to days, and it's very efficient to get you going. The ramp-up times are really quick because Andela understands companies are expecting to do more with less. They've got to justify ROI. When you hire Andela engineers, you can expect they will be efficiently onboarded and working and ready to deliver value for your team within days. It's just great. It's just great. Mindshare, as an example, and you'll find these references on the website. Mindshare partnered with Andela to quickly hire 10 new digital experts. And these are high-level experts, data scientists, machine learning specialists, analysts, software developers. I have a quote from the executive director and head of business intelligence at Mindshare. He says, as we continue to enhance the Synapse platform, time to value is very important. Andela is a great partner in helping us identify the right talent that's fit for different purposes. Andela, you can tap into a wider talent pool. Stop competing with major tech companies for talent down the street. There's talent all around the world. You'll spend less time interviewing. Brilliance is evenly distributed, but opportunity isn't. I love that. Visit Andela.com/4-companies to schedule a complimentary consultation. You'll get a 2-week no-risk trial with their vetted technical talent. Andela, Andela.com/4-companies. 4-companies. Thank you, Andela, for supporting This Week in Google. And I think this is really great. Bringing talent from all over the world into these businesses that need the talent. And it doesn't, nowadays, you don't have to be sitting there. It's not an industrial area job. You don't have to be sitting next to each other. You really can get the job done. And these people are so talented. So talented. All right. Let's play the drums slowly, John, because it's time for...
The Google Changelog.
Android 12L Beta 1. Here's everything new. Actually, really more importantly, if you have a Google Pixel, the drop is coming out this month, new feature drop. But look, here's some things in the next version of Android. 12L will be released early next year. 2 more betas to come. A little bit easier to find wallpapers, dark themes just for you. Just for you.
Really? Easier to find wallpapers? They've got some real issues with Android 12.
Freaking problems in this OS, man. Wow. Crap about some wallpapers.
How about the buggy now playing notification?
Really? Now playing is a big issue for
Tweak
someone? How about I can't keep my phone calls connected?
Really? You're dropping a lot of phones?
Yeah, how about my Bluetooth is all wacky?
Bluetooth.
Who uses Bluetooth? Not Kamala.
No,
not
she's
Kamala, but she's smarter than I am.
I think you're Bluetooth phobic. That's what I think. Well, those might be hardware issues.
No, dude. This I started noticing the Bluetooth stuff on the Pixel 4 when Android 12 came out. It just toggles off. And
you don't want a full screen widget sheet from the home screen? And new weather
when
grouping
I had the
icons?
Oh, the look.
Don't make me slap you.
Of disdain.
Don't make me slap you.
Come on, man.
Did you hear that? Ant's going to slap you, and it's going to hurt way more than the Stacy Punch Leo button. I can't wait. Sound the air horn or the freight horn.
It just annoyed me when I saw that.
So you hate your Pixel 6?
The hardware is great on this phone, but the OS is craptastic. It is. You don't use yours enough, I guess.
I guess not. I mean, it's not my daily driver. I use it, but I don't use it every... Well, this is something that's been driving me crazy.
What's that?
Well, I have the always on screen. It even shows the fingerprint, but it's not responsive.
That's
it's just
OS.
sitting there. Well, what I discovered is you have to press the screen on off switch. I mean, you shouldn't have to. That's a bug, I would say.
Yeah, that's OS.
If I press the button, it'll wake up and live.
You know, this should have gone through dadgum UAT.
What's that?
User acceptance testing before it got pushed out.
with people who have Android Auto.
Or it could have gone through A&T because he's got opinions.
I do have opinions.
Well
so
done.
true.
Well
so true.
played.
Well played.
There is a lot of latency on this, guys.
But no, this really bugged me. All of this stuff looks like just some cosmetic, just prettying it up kind of Android stuff, and that has nothing
Lipstick
to do
on a pig
with function. This OS has to be better than what it's offering up, especially when you have really nice hardware like the Pixel 6 Pro.
Yeah. Let me check for an update. Maybe I'll get an update. Nope. Maybe in a week or so we're going to get updates. That's going to have the Pixel December security patch. They do say nearly 100 fixes to Android 12. So maybe some of these complaints will go away.
Can you control F and see if it says Bluetooth?
Fix for distorted audio over Bluetooth in certain scenarios.
That's not the problem.
No.
The problem is it just
There's
turns
quite
it
a few
off.
fixes. There's 100 fixes. Fix for issue this, which seems like a lot for
Yeah.
Fix for causing assistant to unintentionally start a phone call. That's been something people have been complaining about.
Yeah.
Audio playback, audio noise in videos, microphone cutting out during calls in certain conditions. That was happening to you, right?
It cuts out or drops. I had to call PG&E. You know how much fun that is.
I have had calls drop on this. Come to
And
think
it
of
just
Yeah.
stops. So then you get back
I just
in the
assume
queue.
when a call drops, I just assume it's the carrier, not the phone.
That's what I was assuming at first.
Yeah, but it
if I'm
keeps
sitting
happening.
in one spot
No.
where this is not the carrier. This is something else.
General improvements for fingerprint sensor stability and performance. They improved that last time too.
Biometrics.
Camera image quality improvements. I expect continuous improvements in the camera.
Sure.
Camera's good, and I think they're just making it better and better.
Sure.
Network and telephony. Fix for issue the disabled call features. No. Sensors. Look at this.
All right,
Oh.
Google, give me a call. Let's talk.
Wow.
We need to talk about this.
All
list.
Pixel phones going all the way back to the 3A will benefit from the December update fixes that listed below. There's quite a few.
That's great.
So patches will go out to a lot of phones across the board, all the Pixel phones. Well, golly.
Sorry for raising my voice earlier.
Pixel, did you raise your voice?
No, it's
I didn't
good.
hear
It's
that.
good when you do that.
Pixel Buds A-Series firmware update adding bass slider, loudness compensation, and more. I agree with Kamala. I want to use wired headphones. I really don't like Bluetooth, but we don't have much choice. The December Chromecast with Google TV update improves Dolby Vision playback storage and more. Google Photos they do this every year now, starting to surface your best of 2021 memories. Let me just see.
Oh, that reminds me of another bug. It continues to think that my photos are sideways, and I get this little
Oh, that's not
notification
good.
from the software that says, "Hey, your photos are sideways." No, they're not.
I'm starting to hate my Pixel phone.
They're not. I took it that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, you mean you took it in landscape
I took
mode?
it in landscape mode.
Oh, no, that's sideways.
That's not sideways. That's not a. Oh, jeez. It's a dadgum camera.
Did you have a Pixel before? No.
Yes, that's all I've had.
Oh, you did? Okay. Because I talked you into getting the 6.
No, you talked me into getting the 4. I wanted the 6. You talked me into the 4.
No, I told you when the 6 came out, I said, you can get one, right?
Yes, you did.
Didn't I?
And I was like, yeah, and I want
On me.
one.
I bought it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, yes,
but I'm
please,
feeling
and thank
bad
you.
now.
No, the phone is fine. It's the OS.
Yeah.
It's the OS.
Well,
Nice thing is the OS can always be improved.
That's true.
Please, Google.
Please.
How about this fix? And it worked, Jeff, right? For the mysterious Android Auto error.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going nuts. So I bought another cable to make sure that wasn't the cable. I was going nutty. And this thing's a bit overwritten because it's very difficult. I had to hit one button once. Somebody discovered, because they were probably hitting every button in the car saying, why doesn't this work? You hit the talk to the car button, the little mouth.
Yep.
That just opens up the communication between the car and the phone. Like, oh, there you are. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. You go. Here was Android Auto.
Okay.
I hit it once. Other people evidently have to hit it every time they're in the car or something, which is a bit of pain. But I hit it once and it works. One more time, I kind of hit it once because I wasn't sure. But it knock wood, it's working.
All right.
What kind of car do you have so we can
Mazda.
Okay, because like I said, I haven't had that problem, but I guess it just varies per automobile.
Yes, it does.
I have heard from people who are having issues.
I was the celebrity email of the week on All About Android.
Woohoo!
So I got this 2 weeks ago.
Did you accuse them of moral
today.
panic?
No, because they were helpful. They couldn't have been more helpful and more nice and more generous and gentlemanly.
Nice work,
and
Mr.
informed.
Jason Howell.
And they were trying to help me out of a fix. They were quite nice.
That's their job. They do a good one, I have to say. All About Android Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Twit.
Is there just like a paucity of news? I feel like
there isn't a paucity. There's a paucity of Leo.
Okay. No. I'm like saying, okay, we're still in the changelog.
Changelog.
Okay.
And that's the Google changelog.
Wait, what?
We were in the changelog.
Now what do you want to do?
Now we're moving on. Okay.
We could do TikTok videos. Lots of TikTok videos.
The top videos of 2021.
Oh, wait. Before we do that, can we just say how excited I am that Jessica Rosenworcel has been
Congratulations.
approved?
Yes.
Congratulations. She is the new head chair of the FCC. I have met her several times.
She's very good, I think. Yeah.
She's so good. She's so smart. She is really interested in both understanding how the technology works and protecting the consumer.
So she's been a commissioner for some time. And as you may know, the way the FCC works, there have to be 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats, and then the chairperson. She is the first woman.
No, there are only 5 chairs.
No, there's 5.
There are 2 Democrats.
3.
No, there should be 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans.
Well, it
there's
depends on
2 chairs. There's 2 there's usually 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats on the chairs, and then whoever the president is usually appoints whoever's part of his party.
So the 5th person is the chairman. Okay.
5th, yeah.
So instead of, so I got it off by 1. So there's 2 of each.
Well, it's a rather crucial one, yes, but it's
I was off by 1. It's an off by 1 error. It's very common. So there was 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and the chair. This is the first time a woman has been a chair of the FCC in 86 years ever. Senate approval was 68-31, which is kind of amazing to hear that kind of majority in the Senate. So
is Gigi Sohn going to get through?
They're fighting Gigi, and Gigi is so freaking awesome. And so, I'm so mad about that. It's such a, what is it? Is it a red herring? Is it whatever you put up to attack? It's annoying.
So there's empty seats at the FCC,
yes.
right? And Gigi would she make it complete?
She would be the 3rd Democratic commissioner, basically.
Okay, so they've been missing a 5th commissioner for since
and
Trump.
That was actually political wrangling by the Trump administration.
Some of the Republicans like Gigi for, I forget what the reason was. It's backwards Republican logic, and some of the Democrats, no, it's all complicated, and I haven't been able to follow.
She has supported, she is very much in favor of First Amendment rights. She's argued in favor of conservative news organizations in the past. Right. But if you ever look,
she's also a net neutrality advocate.
She's a net neutrality advocate. She is anti-duopoly. She is.
It's what we need.
Consumer protection.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
we need. She's brilliant. She's informed. She's brilliant. Good things can happen.
So, however, her prospects are not great.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that they're bad. It's
the press and everyone is fighting for her in ways that are actually pretty astonishing.
Good. Well, it's amazing that Rosenworcel got 68-31 vote in the very partisan Senate. So obviously,
she's charming.
There's some
really
progress being made, which is really good. It's important. FCC is important to all of us for a variety of reasons. Okay, yes, thank you for doing that and distracting us from TikTok's top videos of 2021.
Appreciate it.
If you go to 101, you get a long list of them. You can pick them rather than having to watch their compilation.
Yeah, the CNN thing is just taking advantage. That's just like one of those
it's
ridiculous slideshows where, of course, you could go to TikTok and see the videos, but no, CNN's going to give you a static slideshow. So,
retention.
I'm going to give you a chance to vote. We're going to watch one. If you like TikTok so damn much, go watch it. Drone dancing.
Where am I?
Squishy the chipmunk hiding nuts in his mouth. Restocking at its finest. Dog painting, or Zach King, who's kind of an amazing video effects genius, disappearing into his art.
Chipmunk.
Squishy the chipmunk. The account is Chipmunks of
dog
TikTok.
painting. No, dog painting is my Aussie girl.
No, I've seen the dog painting. So
it's wonderful.
Here comes Squishy.
Hey, Squishy.
That's it, by the way.
Yeah, no, but look how cute he is.
Well,
Now he says fluffy bunny.
hazelnuts?
Watch.
Squishy paying rent.
Squishy paying rent.
Because all I see is this animal.
Is he going to make it? Yes!
He got them all in. Okay. All right, I'll give you your second choice.
Dog painting.
That's
from my Aussie gal.
Would have been
this
better,
is an amazing.
Painting.
This is the dog that was doing the down the snow.
Oh, wait a minute. We probably can't play this music. So just watch the dog
Mute it.
paint.
Yeah.
Dog is painting blue. Lots of blue on the canvas. It's all blue now.
That's the first
Now
one.
he's got some green. It's interesting how they're cutting in between. Tells me they really are very much influencing what the dog is doing. Now he's doing yellow. If they weren't
you
cutting,
have a producer.
they're
What's
cutting.
wrong with the dog having a producer?
They're cutting. I don't think the dog is painting a daisy. I don't think the dog even knows what the hell's going on. They probably put bacon on the paint.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here with this paint.
I thought the trick was peanut butter.
The dog painted a daisy, and sure.
Quite honestly, both of those are better than what I thought would have been the best pick. The drone dancing.
Yeah, the drone dancing was not.
That was horrendous. So do not even play it.
Now you got to play. Now you got to play it to irritate.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
It's horrendous. I hate. I gave them 2 seconds.
That's the beauty of TikTok. In fact, the New York Times discovered how TikTok reads your mind.
Ugh.
Didn't the Wall Street Journal discover
I
this?
give up. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry. It's moronic. I agree. The CIA is big into finish this sentence.
Surveillance.
Bitcoin, cryptocurrency.
Pepperoni.
Cryptocurrency.
Stacy wins. Cryptocurrency. According to William Burns, the director, the agency has, quote, a number of different products focused on cryptocurrency. Projects.
Oh.
Not products. Projects. This is something I inherited. My predecessor started this, he said, but had set in motion a number of different projects focused on cryptocurrency and trying to look at second and third order consequences as well, and helping with our colleagues in other parts of the U.S. government to provide solid intelligence on what we're seeing as well. And actually, if you look, this is on Vice, at the more like this stories, you'll see why the CIA might be interested. Man shot dead in hail of gunfire over crypto mining rigs. Ted Cruz says Bitcoin mining can fix Texas's crumbling electric grid.
Oh, God.
Cryptocurrency loan platform implodes in a $130 million hack. How not to get scammed in the crypto market. And Binance says it helped cops arrest ransomware money launderers. So I guess you're getting an idea why the CIA might have some interest in all of this.
Probably 4 years ago, I was at an event and there was an FBI money laundering person there. So, and they were like very excited about Bitcoin. This was not crypto in general; it was Bitcoin, and it was because we can track things. It's great. So they were. I get why they're excited about this.
I think some of these people have made the case that we wouldn't see ransomware as such a problem if Bitcoin didn't exist. Because now that everybody knows about Bitcoin, knows how to get it, ransomware, despite what the CIA might say about tracking Bitcoin, does have some sort of an anonymity. It's a lot better going to the 7-Eleven and buying money cards.
Money cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have thoughts on the blockchain story on 108 in the security section?
Well, let's go there and find out. Google temporarily disrupts a botnet that infected 1 million PCs. Yeah, Steve Gibson talked about this yesterday. Glooptiba, it's the largest botnet to date. In case you're, what's a botnet? Very often when bad guys co-opt computers, what they do is they set up a command and control IRC room. The computer joins the room and then it waits for the command. And there's all sorts of things you do, DDoS attacks, try to take down gambling sites on Super Bowl Sunday, things like that. The company, Google estimates the malware has infected approximately 1 million Windows PCs globally. They're on that botnet. They're all infected by Glooptiba. Google traced it to at least 2 individuals based out of, what a surprise, Russia. The company is suing them in hopes it'll set a precedent and create legal and liability risks for botnet operators. At times, the company says it saw the network grow by about 1,000 devices per day. I remember, and this is 20 years ago at Tech TV, we had gotten a tip logged into an IRC channel that was a botnet, and I was watching computers join at hundreds per second.
Wow.
The botnet was growing very fast as the malware spread, and once the malware infected your computer logged in this IRC channel to wait for your command. The malware that adds a computer to the Glooptiba botnet is usually found hidden on sketchy websites that offer free software. According to Google, the operators use the malware to steal personal data, mine cryptocurrencies, that's a big one these days, and funnel other internet traffic through the infected machines.
Can you explain this? Unfortunately, Glooptiba's use of blockchain technology as a resiliency mechanism is notable here and is becoming more and more common practice among cybercrime organizations.
Yeah. The decentralized nature of blockchain allows the botnet, they say, to recover more quickly from disruptions, making them harder to shut down. Maybe they're not using chat rooms anymore because it's easy to go after and shut down a command and control center in a chat room. Maybe that's exactly why they're using blockchain, because it's decentralized. The issue, of course, is once you get all these computers, you got to somehow tell them what to do. You got to coordinate their activities. So, anyway, Google temporarily disrupts Glooptiba. If you want more information, we did talk about it on Security Now yesterday with Steve Gibson. Anybody, anything you want to talk about?
There's plenty of more TikTok videos.
No. Are you glad you're not working at better.com? They fired 900 people over Zoom.
Well, how else are you going to?
I saw this headline. I was like, "Is it 900 people?" So this one person was going to go door to door for 900 people, or
usually you send emails. There's ways to do that.
But then there's people that
envelope.
Hold on, people complain about getting fired over text messages.
Well, the issue was that then the CEO got on there. He was like, "This was so hard last time. I'm hoping I'll do better this time."
He did it again.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I come to you, he said, with not great news. If you are on this call, 900 people, you're part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately.
I don't know
how. There's no way to get fired nicely. I agree. It's not a good thing one way or the other.
It had to be done. Unfortunately, that was the more effective way, efficient way to do it.
So,
take a note, Leo.
I have to. We're a small company, so if people need to be fired or laid off, I do it, or at least it does it in person. Never fun. This guy did not invent Bitcoin. I'm just going to say
I wanted you to explain this to me. How?
He wins a U.S. court battle for Bitcoin fortune worth billions. A guy claims he invented Bitcoin, and he's an Australian computer scientist. I'm not going to say his name. He went to court suing the family of a deceased business partner The family claimed it was owned half of a cryptocurrency fortune worth tens of billions of dollars. The jury did award $100 million in intellectual property rights to a joint venture between the two men. But the jury found that this guy did not owe half of 1.1 million bitcoins to the family. These were some of the first bitcoins to be created through mining. They could only be owned by a person or entity involved with the digital currency from its beginnings, such as Satoshi Nakamoto, its creator. This guy claims to be the creator. He's not. It's, by the way, it's an easy thing. If you think, if you say I'm Satoshi Nakamoto, well, Satoshi has tens of billions of Bitcoin in his account. All you'd have to do is move. You wouldn't even have to do anything but just say, if you moved 1 zillionth of a Bitcoin from that account to another account, said, look, I'm going to do that tomorrow, and you did it, that proves it.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
So the court's an idiot.
They don't. The jury took a week to deliberate. They didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a credible claimant to the role, especially because there's an easy proof, which he has never. He's always said, "Oh, yeah, I'll do that," and never does it. So,
what does he think he's going to get? Because
notoriety. That's why I don't want to say his name.
Exactly. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Good call, sir.
It's like that other guy who drove Maznik crazy. We won't mention.
Yeah. Yes.
Tech dirt.
Padre had a good tweet.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that, but now that you've called it out, I will.
I'm sorry.
You like it because it takes a pot shot at your favorite organization. Or one of your favorite organizations, Newsy.
I thought Padre had a good sense of humor about it.
Newsy. Well, so it is look, it's tabloid journalism, right? Here, I'll find the tweet.
I can't find it in the rundown.
He said,
it's a line,
Newsy published, I got it, no. Newsmax, not Newsy, your favorite Newsmax. Vatican preps for conclave as, quote, Pope is dying.
What?
To which Father Robert says, oh, no, I'll have to let him know the next time he comes over. Rolling on the floor laughing.
I thought it was very cool that we know the guy who knows the Pope.
Yeah, we know the guy. Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Can I put in a plug for a friend of the show, Neerit Weisblatt, who subbed for Station One?
We like her.
Yes.
Techlash. She's brilliant. She's great.
Yep.
Her book, which we love, is academic and it costs $80. But she now has an audiobook version coming out right now. For I think it was $13.95. It's supposed to go up on Audible any second.
Good.
And she'll have the paperback coming out for $30 soon. So it's an important book for those of us who cover technology. And here's a plug for the brilliant Dr. Weisblatt.
I knew it. She very kindly asked if I would read it. And I said, I just don't have time. But I gave her some names, so maybe she. I hope she found.
Who did it? Is there a sample? Can you recognize that voice in 2 sentences?
I probably could. I sent her over to Cory Doctorow, and said, Cory has his books recorded, pays for his books recorded. She was very kind to ask me. I was very, very flattered. But it's hard to record a book, especially 252 pages of.
Yeah, this one has lots of data in it.
Yeah. Things. Let's see. It's on.
Quotes are very hard to read because you've got to do a slightly different voice.
Here's a sample. Let's see if...
The sentence that drew most of the reactions from the research interviewees was, "But our work will never be done." Perhaps since this phrase symbolizes the never-ending challenge.
Good. He sounds good. I don't know who it is. I don't recognize that voice, but sounds very listenable. So I'll be getting that. Techlash and Tech Crisis Communication. Neerit was on our show to talk about it when it came out, and now it's in audio, which will certainly will broaden the audience.
Yeah, I'll check that out
because it was expensive.
$80.
Yeah. Because it was academic. Yeah. Why? So explain to me, is it because it's such a small?
No, it's what they do is they sell them to because libraries, if they think it's just going to be read in the library. There's a series of books that I love by a publisher called Brill. There's now 100 books about book history get me started. They're $140 each. Because they think nobody's going to buy this book. Only the library is going to buy it, and so we're going to charge a very high price for it. I'm trying to get Gutenberg the Geek out, and it'll probably be with an academic publisher, knock on wood if I get one. I'm talking to one now. And I just don't want it to be an $80 book. That's the only thing I'm insisting on. But.
Peter Boris reads it. Peter J. Boris. And you look forward to, well, you can go to near its website, probably is the best place to go.
Yeah, that's where you go.
Yeah. Yep. Congratulations.
Google her. Oh, there's another one that's interesting.
Yes.
So there was a recent academic paper, like today, that looked at the search engines. This is line 56 and 57. The search engines and how much they promoted conspiracies. And they put in, I think, 6 basic conspiracies, QAnon, I forget what the others were. And they looked at Google, Yahoo, Bing, Zandex, and I'm forgetting one, and DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo, yeah.
And the only one that was free of conspiracies was Google.
Is it Google?
The others.
Interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting because Google obviously goes to the effort to clean them out. And so if you go to the explanatory Twitter thread, they have some graphics there that show what they did here. So I think that was interesting to see that if you go to the effort, you can have an impact. And they chose to do this, and they did it. So
it's a preprint.
Yes, it's preprint. Yes, that is.
Which means it's not.
It's not been peer reviewed. Neither have we been. Neither have we been.
We are not peer reviewed.
unless you call the chat room peer review.
I was like the chat review is kind of reviewing us in real time.
Yeah. Keep us straight.
Do they? Does she say she's a doctoral researcher at Social Computing Group? Yeah, it looks like she's got a Swiss URL. So.
So we'll see if somebody
who funds that is the question I'd be curious about.
The Department of Informatics at the University of Zurich.
Okay, that's fair. That's safe.
The Leibniz Institute for Sozialwissenschaften in Germany.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I see.
All right. But that's appropriate. You should ask when you read a study, especially if it's not peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the funding?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing here really is
sparking joy.
Sparking joy. The Rohingyas are suing Facebook for a mind-boggling 150. Now this says million, but I saw a billion, so maybe I misread it.
I put this in here. I thought I saw a
what do you
billion
do with
too,
genocide of a whole people?
Yeah, well, what's that worth, right? Exactly. Axios is saying million now, so maybe I misread it.
Somebody did a typo.
Yeah. Million seems more reasonable. 150 billion sounds like you don't expect anybody to take it seriously, but we're just going to ask for a giant amount of money. Nonetheless, I think this is with a lot of merit. There's no question.
Where are they suing? But in what court do they sue? I didn't get into the story.
U.S.
It's in the U.S. courts. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is suing? I mean, you can't sue, the Rohingya people can't sue.
Rohingya refugees from the U.S. are suing in San Francisco, seeking the court to apply Burmese law. So this is kind of complicated.
Yeah, it is.
The backstory, in case you didn't know, is that thousands of Rohingya Muslims were killed in Myanmar. The UN called it a genocide. And Facebook is widely accused of kind of allowing anti-Rohingya
amplifying the
messages. And this is, we were talking actually about this, I think on Twit, is that, or maybe that you were saying this, Jeff, one of the problems is content moderation in English, in big languages, can be well done by these companies, but it's these narrow languages where they don't have a lot of content moderators, very hard.
And the cultural context.
And you don't have the context, you have to have people on the ground and so forth. A UN report in 2018 said Facebook played, quote, a determining role in disseminating hateful rhetoric in Myanmar. The International Criminal Court has opened an investigation into crimes against the Rohingya Muslims in Bangladesh and Myanmar. So Facebook issued a statement back in 2018 I think that this will be an interesting. Legal experts note there's no known successful legal precedent for invoking foreign law in a suit against social media firms, especially because of Section 230. So that's why they want Burmese law. They're protected under 230. They're not liable in the U.S., but they are liable under Burmese law. But they're suing in the U.S., so it
sounds complicated. And if all of this goes through for that nation that's suing Facebook, what can Facebook do to stop this from happening again? I mean, is it?
It's hard, and that's what we're talking about. But they didn't. I mean, Facebook has. I mean, this is one of my chief criticisms against Facebook is this seems to happen again and again in the Philippines.
Yeah, they know they're evil, and they just don't care.
Well, they don't care, or they have not found a way to do something about it.
Is it just going to take more and more nations suing Facebook before something even gets done?
Well, this isn't a nation. These are refugees, but people suing, yeah. I don't know. I don't think Facebook's at all threatened by this lawsuit. That's the real truth of it.
They have enough lawyers.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's going to go forward. I'm kind of on the Rohingya side, but I don't know if and I think they have merit, but I don't think they have standing.
But the other point of doing this is for the attention.
Yes, and that's why we're giving it.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon launches Alexa Together. I think we're going to have to get our IoT person to say, what the hell is that? A new service to help you care for the ones you love. Alexa Together. I guess they were talking about this. I remember at an event. This would be, I would set this up for my mom. Yeah. Yeah. $19.99 a month, $20 a month, or $199 a year. And then it's a way for you to support loved ones, keeping you together even when you're apart. You get customized alerts, 24/7 urgent response. You can see how things are with snapshots of your loved ones' Echo and smart home interactions. Additional family members can join you to support your loved one. I think this is probably a good thing.
That's very
remote
cool.
assistance.
Augusta.
Set reminders on a loved one's Echo, manage shopping lists, link music services, and more. When I brought my mom an Echo and set it up for her, it was set up on my account, and it didn't take her very long to reset it because she said, I see your calendar notifications. I want mine. But of course, she didn't know how to make it hers, and so it just doesn't work. And there's also, if a compatible device detects a fall, Alexa calls urgent response and notifies emergency contacts. So, or, they can shout, call for help. So I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a good idea. It is expensive, but I guess $200 a year is not. We
just moved my father, thank goodness, my 95-year-old father, and he's now 7 miles away, which is a blessing.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
But I was until we convinced him to do that, I was so worried, and I was looking at this and thinking, how do we do it? But the problem is, he's 95. There's no device he can use.
No. So, but some of this is you using it to keep an eye on him.
Okay. Right.
And there is, one of the things you're paying for with the $200 a year is a 24/7 urgent response team. He could have reached it by saying Echo call for help. The fall detection, I have my mom's fall detection on her watch. I don't know if it works with this, but if it detects a fall, then the Echo would say, do you want me to call urgent response? Do you want me to connect you to urgent response?
Okay, all right.
Remote assist, if the loved one chooses to activate it.
That's worth $200 a year, my man.
Yeah,
I think so. Given a home aid would cost that much a day, but so I think that's good. Yeah,
I'm counting down until we see the story about violating the privacy of our elders. But
well, notice
the Washington Post did it
already.
They did it in November. Yeah. But okay, hold on, because you did actually at the very beginning call for my thoughts on this, and then you just kept going.
Well, no, I wanted to tell everybody I'm setting the stage.
He was doing the background.
This is everything you need to know. So now, what does Stacy think is the question?
Then Jeff had a dumb question, and then now we're at the meat of it. Now we're at the heart of it. Now we're at the value. Now we're at the reason people are here. Go ahead, Stacy.
Bless his heart.
So, just a couple of things, quick, not even corrections, just little addendums. So the device that you would buy to detect falls, that's an additional device. It's got to be set up in each individual room. It's $250 for that device.
Whoa.
It uses radar. It's very effective. I've talked to the company that makes it a bunch. So that's a very interesting device. If you're going to buy something like that, it's nice because it monitors for the things most people are worried about without using a camera, because it's just using radar. So one of the nicer things about this particular setup is that you will see that your parent interacted with Madam A or Alexa, but you don't know what they did. So you'll see, your mom played a song, your mom asked the time, but you don't know exactly what they're doing, or your mom turned on a light, but you don't know if it's in the bathroom or what. The other thing that's nice is this is an evolution of their Care Hub stuff, which they launched the year before. Now you can do one-to-many. So it doesn't have to be just you, Leo, controlling your parents' account.
Yeah, my sister
could
do
that
it.
burden with your sister.
Yeah. Ooh, and she's down the road, so that would actually work out really well. I suspect we'll be doing this. Mom's 88. She's living at home by herself. She doesn't have in-home care. But I think, this would be, eventually she'll need that, obviously, but this is a step in between. This looks really...
this is a really compelling service, I think. And it's fairly privacy preserving. I mean, what is basically to stay in your home, you might have to give up some of your privacy.
Yes.
It's really terrible.
Yeah. And, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do it. Obviously, it's,
well, yes.
So nobody's making anybody do it, I hope.
No, I can see someone saying, hey, look, Mom, if you don't want to go into assisted living, you're going to have to do this.
Right.
Usually that's if you don't want to go assisted living, then we're bringing in some stranger into your home every day, and no, I'm not going to do that, and that's the fight. It's a
tough one all around. It really is.
After my father had breakthrough, and he was in the hospital, and then he was in rehab, it hits you for a loop, and he says, I need this kind of help. And we said, yes, okay, great. And the opening was there. And, it's never an easy discussion, but I hope somebody takes care of all of us when we get that old.
Yep. I did get my mom an Apple Watch for the fall detection and some of that stuff. She loves it and keeps her, encourages her to be active and stuff like that. So there's intermediate steps. Technologies, I think, because Jeff, baby boomers, we're getting older, and there's going to be a very big market for this kind of stuff for us. So,
I think there's going to be a lot of services to keep you in your home.
Yes, which I think is good.
That's definitely evident.
And this is nice because, a lot of people, there's no indication that you're old, right? So if you listen, a lot of people don't want to wear the bracelets or the buttons because it's an indicator, even hearing aids, that they're old. And, this is pretty normal. It's kind of hidden throughout your home. So,
yeah. Good. Thank you, Amazon. On the other hand, there's a lot of people, according to the Washington Post, named Wisconsin who can't wait to change their name. There's got to be a name in journalism for this kind of story.
It was done before. We've talked about it before, but I put it back in there just because it keeps coming around again.
Yeah. Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley named their daughter in 1985. In 2015, 6,000 baby girls were named. There's actually a good story in Brad Stone's Amazon Unbound about how they came up with that name and all the other names they considered. It wasn't by any means a slam dunk. In fact, it was kind of a late decision to call it. Huh?
It says show a graph.
Show the graph. Suddenly, the names so this peak right here is released nationwide. This sudden plummet is the drop in people babies named given the name. You wouldn't name your kid after Billy Joel named their kid. The numbers, went up and up and up.
Yeah, he wrote a song, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As one does, as Billy Joel does,
as one does, as he does. In 2020, only about 1,300 babies were given the name. Okay, I mean, there's a name for this kind of story. It's a kind of a lifestyle, soft.
Moral panic.
Panic. I don't think that's the name. I don't think it's the.
It's not. I'm joking.
The name that I'm looking for. Do you want to talk about
basic effort for a trend story?
I know you're a trend story. That's the word I was looking for. Trend story. Do you want to talk about Benedict Devin's slides? You do every year. He does this
that time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that time of year. I think Ben's brilliant and a great analyst, and I don't know how many pages it is. What was it? Oh hell! I should have looked. I'm sorry. I should have looked up the.
The name of it is 3 Steps to the Future, which is essentially the premise is 3 trends in 2021. It's funny because Amy Webb, who is a regular on our Twitch show, would love her. She's a futurist.
She's awesome.
Future Today Institute. Came to us a couple of weeks ago and said, I'd like to do a show about the future on Twit. So we contacted, I think, Daniel Suarez, science fiction author. Mm-hmm. And I thought we're going to get a scientist as well and get Amy and talk about future trends. That'll be early next year. I think it'll be the first, like January 7th, the first week of, the first twit of January.
Nice. I'll watch that.
Won't that be interesting? But let's see what Ben has to say. Okay, future. Here's a whole slide. This is when can you summarize this, Jeff? It just says future. There you go.
I'm trying to look for the slides.
There you go. Okay. The tech visions for 2030.
Numbers up.
He's got 2 dots. One says Web3, one says Metaverse. And then he's got a lot of other words, random words put together. And then the great rebranding. Redefine the vision and set a broader goal for VR and crypto. So cryptocurrencies are now going to be called Web3.
Yeah, so which is basically say it's BS.
Yeah. VR, AR going to be called Metaverse. The next well, that was interesting. He says the next platform after smartphones. I think that's probably true. Web3, the Holy Roman Empire is neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, according to Voltaire. Cryptocurrency is neither secret nor only a currency. Blockchain or DLT are not databases. That's what Voltaire would have said had he been born later.
Yes.
Blockchain is a distributed open computing system, or at least that's the plan. Web3, the dream of the next version of the internet. Users read the web, publishers create and make money. Web 2.0, users create, networks control and make money. Web 3, users create, users control networks and money. And you know what? I'm done with this. This is fun.
Yeah.
This isn't that insightful.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Sorry.
BuzzFeed went public. Is that interesting, Jeff? It
is
journalism.
For lots of reasons, because it's journalism. It's a SPAC. But a whole bunch of the SPAC holders backed out before.
Ooh. It was a SPAC back.
It was a SPAC back, yes. And so they didn't get as much money as they wanted. Meanwhile, NBC was not happy about the valuation, which was a clawback on a SPAC back. And so
NBC owns BuzzFeed?
Made for them. NBC invested hugely. Comcast invested hugely.
I was about to say Comcast, my friends.
They own BuzzFeed News, HuffPost, Taste, acquired Complex Media.
Now Complex is part of this. It's part of what Jonah's.
I thought Verizon owned HuffPost.
They sold it to BuzzFeed.
Oh,
Verizon got out of all that media stuff.
And they bought Complex from Hearst and Verizon for $300 million.
Part of this deal. Yeah. And then Jonah Peretti thinks the only way to compete with the big guys is to become a big guy.
He's the founder and CEO. Yeah.
And he's brilliant. I mean, Jonah was the brains behind HuffPost too, really, and all their technology. But the SPAC didn't work so well. The staff
94% of investors withdrew.
Yeah, I don't understand SPACs well enough to understand fully what that means, but that means there wasn't as much money in this.
You raise a bunch of money and then you take things public through a pipe, basically. So you usually merge with the public company, but you raise all the funds with the idea of doing this. So they just didn't have enough money to do their deal, or did they buy a cheaper company?
The merger raised roughly $16 million after investors withdrew about 94% of the $287.5 million previously raised by the SPAC. The company also raised an additional $150 million in convertible note financing, borrowing, as part of the SPAC deal.
So it came out at $10. Today it closed at $7.68.
Eesh.
Nobody's investing in media.
Down 22%. Goodness.
And finally, because we're going to take a break and then get your picks of the week. Finally, the Chinese have finally made contact with an alien civilization on the backside of the moon. There it is. They call it Mystery Hut.
The outhouse on the moon.
It is. Their rover is only 260 feet away.
But it's going to take them months to get over there.
It's going to take them 3 months to get over there.
Yeah.
It's not moving fast. It looks like it's cubic, which means that either there are aliens on there or wombats.
Stonehenge.
Because it's a cube.
Like wombat poop.
It could be, that's John's joke. It could be a monolith.
Yeah.
Except
2001.
It would be the monolith from Spinal Tap. It'd be kind of like a little one. Actually, it's hard to say how big it is. I think it might be actually like 5 meters tall, but I'm not sure.
I thought the initial report said 20 meters tall.
20 meters. Okay.
Like that, right?
Okay. Anyway, it looks kind of like a cube. So in 3 months, 2 to 3 months, the
we will have forgotten about it.
2 will spend. If you put it in lunar terms, it's only 2 to 3 lunar days. So it's not. Not as long.
I'll still forget about it.
They have to because they have to avoid craters. Because if they fall in, it's like there's nobody to get them out.
It'd be like the Estonian rat robots, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good story. Wouldn't it be amazing if they got there and it is a cube? It's like, wow.
That would be amazing.
QAnon. Yeah. It's a cube.
It's a cube.
Yeah. You get it?
Oh, nice.
Let's take a break. And
I love the Peanut Gallery. Peanut Gallery gives me such joy.
Yeah.
Jammer B's hilarious.
Yeah. Thank God for Jammer B. We will have final thoughts and picks after a word from our sponsor, Melissa. You know, the post office processes 36 million address changes in 2020. Huge chunk of your customer data is out of date. The estimate is about 30% of customer data goes bad every year. That's why you need Melissa. Melissa.com/twit. They're the address experts. In fact, over the last 35 years, 10,000 businesses have used Melissa to dedupe customer information, to add to customer information, to correct customer information. You can verify addresses, emails, phone numbers, and names with Melissa for over 240 countries and territories. In fact, you can even do it at the point of entry in real time because Melissa has a great API. You could try the API with their new lookup apps, just came out for iOS and Android. You can also dedupe. I mentioned this. Their data matching will eliminate clutter and duplicates, which means your database is more accurate. It also means you're not sending 3 catalogs and annoying people to the same address, so that saves you on postage and mailing costs. It'll help with identity verification. You'll reduce risk, ensure compliance, and, of course, keep customers happy. I know this because we were selling Twit. Remember we were selling those Twit masks for COVID? And they all went to one guy in Florida?
One guy in Florida, right?
Yeah, see, Melissa would have fixed that, man. Poof. There, you can convert addresses into latitude and longitude. That's helpful for delivery and things like that, geocoding. You can remove up to 95% of bad email addresses from your database with the Melissa's email verification. And the beauty of Melissa is you can deploy it in whatever way you want. Deployment platforms and options to suit any preference, business size or budget. On-prem, you could do a web service. You can even upload to their secure FTP server, then download the cleaned up file. You can use their software as a service. Of course, the API really is what a lot of people use, building Melissa into their customer service software or their shopping carts. You've probably even used Melissa if you've ever noticed. You enter an address and it says, "You mean this?" Yep, Melissa. Melissa, by the way, treats your data like the gold that it is. They constantly undergo independent security audits to reinforce their commitment to data security, privacy, and compliance requirements. They're SOC 2 compliant, HIPAA compliant, GDPR compliant. Melissa's Global Support Center offers 24/7 world-renowned support. If you sign up for service-level agreements, you inquire about that today. They're still supporting communities and qualifying essential workers during COVID-19. You may even qualify for 6 months of free service. Just apply online at melissa.com. Named to Gartner's Magic Quadrant for data quality solutions. That's the second year in a row. Nice going, Melissa. Make sure your customer contact data is up to date. Try Melissa's APIs in the developer portal. It's easy to log on, sign up, and start playing in the API sandbox 24/7. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free. Melissa.com/twit. Melissa.com/twit. Thank you, Melissa, for supporting This Week in Google. Thank you for supporting us by using that address so they know you saw it here. Melissa.com/twit. Stacy, do you have a pick of the week?
I do. This is part of the Stacy loves sharing books with people. This is a good time for Ant to tell you about our book club date if we found it.
Yeah, about that.
We have not found our book club date, so I'm not going to tell you about that yet.
Wow.
But the book I want to tell you about today is called AI 2041. And I think a lot of y'all are going to be really interested in this because it is a collaboration between, I'm going to butcher this and I'm so sorry, Chen Qifan, and Kai-Fu Lee. Kai-Fu is a researcher at Microsoft, and he's worked at Microsoft, Google. I don't actually know if he's still at Microsoft. And Chen Qifan is an author. So what they've done is they've created a book that is 10 short stories, and then an essay afterwards by Kai-Fu Lee about it is all about AI. So 10 stories about AI. And then he explains why this will happen and how it could kind of vary a little bit in the next 20 years. And so it really taps into, I like reading science fiction. And also I really like understanding like the technology behind it. And this is like
I think
real technology.
We should get them on our prediction roundtable. Sounds like, huh? Kai-Fu Lee.
Yeah. So
Chen
they've done all this with Chen Qifan.
Chen
Okay,
Qifan.
Yeah, I was like, ugh. So I'm going to be honest. The first two stories feel very not good as stories. They're just like, they're more like thought exercises. They're not complete plot-driven kind of stories. But if you go past those, they get better. So the stories sometimes feel like they're very much harnessed in service of explaining a specific AI. But like, he explains GANs. He explains transducer formation. I mean, like, this is hardcore. And if you don't like that, you can just skip all that and just read the stories.
AI 2041, 10 visions for our future, brand new. Wow, that sounds really interesting.
It's you probably have to be a certain type of person to like it, but I feel like our audience has some of those types of
I think this is going to be better than the one written by Henry Kissinger. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And Kai-Fu Lee doesn't sound like this when he's reading it. Cool. I'm going to have to put this on my Audible. It is available on Audible, so that's great.
Nice.
Yeah. And
poor Ant's like, oh no, what if Stacy makes me read this book one day?
yeah. Oh, what is the deal with the book group?
Well, the thing is, I suggested a date before the show actually, and then I realized, dang, is that too soon to?
Oh, we have to read it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
January 13th, Autonomous. I feel like you could read Autonomous.
You could read
it's
it.
At the holidays.
Yeah. It's not a long book. It's easy to read.
Okay.
It's fun. It's really good.
Well, there we have it. January 13th, Autonomous. That is a Thursday
for the book club.
For our book club.
Well, it's a book club at 1 p.m., which means like in other parts of the world, I mean, it's still late, but it's less late.
It's less late. Plus, Ant's got a schedule too, people. Come on.
And that will be occurring in our Discord server for Club Twit members, but then also part of the Twit Plus feed later if you just want to listen for Club Twit members. We have now, thanks to you, Ant, really starting to build up quite a library of really interesting events going on. That's where the Untitled Linux show is, the Giz Fizz, Stacy's Book Club. You interviewed Mary Jo Foley last week. That was great. We've got Mike Elgin and Amira Elgin coming up. I'm going to do that one because I've been on their Gastronom.
And I have an idea for you, but we'll talk about it offline.
If it involves singing and dancing, I'm in, buddy.
Maybe.
I'm in.
Maybe.
Can I wear a top hat and tails and my cane? And it'll be great.
Make sure you bring your elf with you, too.
I'm putting on my top hat. So that, by the way, brings me to...
Were you in theater in high school?
Oh, of course.
Shocking.
I played...
You can see the little leg kicking behind his
No, it's
head.
cute, isn't it?
It's so great, isn't it?
I played, as an example, Sheridan Whiteside in The Man Who Came to Dinner. Great dribbling cow! You have the touch of a sex-starved cobra!
Oh, man, where is John Love?
I was
John
in anyway.
Acting!
Acting! I am a thespian! If you are not a member of Club Twit, though, you will miss some of these fun things. So that is a good reason. Actually, there are many good reasons to join Club Twit. $7 a month. What do you get? You get ad-free versions of all of our shows. You get access to the Discord, which is active all the time and really interesting.
That's been a kicker.
The Twit Plus feed. I think actually the
Discord's been a kicker.
is really great. It's our new social life. And it's, I think $7 a month is a pretty good deal for all of that. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit. Note also that we do have a corporate membership too. And I mentioned that because we sold our first corporate plan.
Woohoo!
300.
Congratulations.
300 IT and security professionals at RMC, Resource Management Concepts, rmcweb.com. We welcome them. David Hickman, their vice president there, is the guy who contacted us, and we said, hey, we'd be thrilled to have you. So thank you, David, and thank you to the crew. And we, RMC is I think the first to provide a corporate membership, ad-free access to our shows, particularly security now, for their IT and cybersecurity workforce now through December 2022. So
awesome.
That's really nice.
Thank you so much.
We love having you in the club.
Y'all.
The club is a great resource for us, but it's also a great community for you. And thank you to Stacy and Ant and all the people who make that club so much fun. What is it, Stacy?
I have breaking news.
Oh.
Pantone has named their color of the year for 2022.
The color of the year.
Is it the color of your hair? Did you just change your hair color to match
not.
the Pantone?
I could. It's called Very Perry. It is periwinkle blue, so it basically looks purple, y'all. I am a big fan of the colors of the year. I like knowing this, so I'm sharing that with you because I just got it. Okay,
let's watch the video. Pantone announcing the color.
No, that's last year's colors.
Oh,
well, what year is this? Oh, is this 2022?
Which one should we?
Because that was 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the color of the past year, it's the color of the new year.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's watch the video of Very Perry. You can turn up the sound. I'm sure there's purplish.
You're going to get taken down for it.
Sounds. Will we get taken down? Gosh, you think they would want
purplish sounds.
people to talk about this?
That looks very Microsoft-ish.
It's purple. I like it.
It's purple. Yeah, I like it too.
Purple.
Yeah.
Actually, there's no sound. It's just a 15-second clip showing purple. And apparently there are animals with fur that's that color because that's what I'm looking at. I don't know
I wondered what if that was like a Monsters Inc. kind of thing or what.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, if you want to know, that's Pantone 17/3938.
Got it.
And the Club Twit wants you to color your hair that next week.
All right, in honor of Pantone's Very Perry. That's a pretty good color.
It would be a good color.
I would consider it, but I'm not going to go back for like the full bleach and dye for another couple months.
Could I do a cellophane maybe and just I'm getting
could do it.
I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. My hair did.
Yeah.
I'm getting it done tomorrow.
Yeah, then you could do it.
Do it.
Shall I bring in a Pantone chip?
In it.
Just like a little purple,
shock. Yeah,
like
just
right
that,
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think if I tell the stylist I want Pantone's Very Perry 13,998 that they would
say,
know?
I think you should be prepared to show the video.
Okay, I will. Get ready, Candace.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. There is a blockchain element to this color story.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Hold on. With the help of Tezos, the energy-efficient blockchain network, Pantone will begin to explore the world of color in the digital art world for the Color of the Year 2022, collaborating with Paris-based multidisciplinary artist Polygon 1993. They will leverage these artworks inspired by the color to create digital representations of the color and the message the color embodies: inventiveness, creativity, and new ways of thinking about color. Oh, Lord.
Boy, that sounds like that's a guaranteed money maker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, I was like,
hey, it's tech.
Oh, there's a Microsoft is in here too. Microsoft is going to use this color in their products, including custom Teams backgrounds. Look at this marketing.
Didn't I just say it looked Microsoft?
Yes.
Wow. It all's coming together.
Oh, boy.
Did you know there's also a sauce called Very Peri? It's a
peri sauce.
Very Peri is peri peri, but it's very. New York by way of South Africa. So.
Excellent. Sorry, I know that was a huge distraction, and yet I did it anyway.
Wait,
we never
on this show, really? Distractions?
I know.
Squirrel.
Aunt
You were
Pruitt,
talking about Ant's thing of the week.
Do you have a thing of the week?
My thing of the week. Well, since we're talking sauce, I want to give a shout out to my man Gerard over in Charlotte. Story with Gerard is he was a sports marketing guy, and he would do these nice little get-togethers and whatnot, and decide to just make some sauce that his granddad used to make, because he's from South Carolina.
Carolina mustard sauce.
Carolina mustard sauce.
That's good.
So people were like, man, you should sell this stuff a couple of years ago. And he decided to sell it here and there. And
I would love some of this.
It has grown to now he has a nice big kitchen dedicated to producing the sauce, and it is going out the door quite regularly. And I just wanted to give him a shout out, show him some love, because proud of him, and we're happy that he's continuing to do big things and this business is growing. And that's Chester's barbecue sauce, using his granddaddy's recipe, chester'sbbqsauce.com.
Nice.
Yum.
So shout out to him.
Yeah, if I didn't
also known as J Money
sauce
is what they call it.
It's mustard-based barbecue sauce.
Yeah, South Carolina likes
Yeah,
mustard base.
It's sacrilege. I'm just going to tell you this right now.
I think it sounds better than it is. Is it in lieu of tomatoes, or does it still have tomatoes?
No tomatoes. Sans tomatoes.
Yeah. This sounds really good.
I like it. I still like tomato base better.
Oh yeah,
the original barbecue sauce.
Yeah, but my grandmother, whenever my grandmother would make barbecue, this was how she did it. It was with mustard sauce.
All right.
And my next pick is from a friend of mine and friend of the show, fan of the network. If you could play the audio to this, I'd appreciate it. It's just something that I think people should hear.
From the Voluntary Input
every daggum day. Shout out to you, Mr. Leo Allen.
You may be having a tough day, but try to remember just one thing. Always end the day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. Try to find at least one thing to be positive about and at least one thing to be grateful for. Try to focus on these things, because not only will it help you put things back into perspective, it can also help prevent you from carrying today's problems on into tomorrow.
I like it.
My man.
A little Wednesday wisdom.
I loved it. I saw that this morning.
That's
I was
good.
Like, yeah, Leo, that's good stuff.
I like the name of his podcast, too.
Yep.
Never Forced, Never Coerced. The Voluntary Input podcast. Compared to this, which is absolutely coerced, forced. It's really, it's punishment all the way. Mr. Jeff Jarvis, you must have a number of the week.
Yeah, I had crappy numbers, so I'm going to use this opportunity. This is my segment. I own this time. This is me. I'm going to give us another TikTok video.
Hear, he says. Hear.
We could go with bones, no bones, which is the trend. Everybody's been talking about this here. Or we could go with the laughing fox. I'll leave that choice to you, or both.
Laughing fox, it's the best.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Laughing fox.
Okay, can I just say, never,
like the fox's ice
ever do that to a fox. You will regret it deeply.
Happy Finnegan.
Who's the fox?
Finnegan the fox. She's talking way too much.
And he's trying to bite her face off. I just want to point out.
Yes.
Good luck with that. We actually have foxes in our backyard, and I don't think I'd pick them up. And
you don't want to go scritching their tummies, no.
I don't think I'd be doing that. Although,
you might want to, but you shouldn't.
No, and their sound is actually kind of an interesting sound. It's kind of scary, to be honest with you.
Well, when they shtup, they really make noise, too.
Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe they were shtupping. And then there was bone crunching later, which I really didn't enjoy.
Okay.
That's a number? Is that your number? You don't want to do...
That's my thing. That's my stuff.
Okay.
Elon Musk, we can make fun of media for thinking that he was really asking the world if he wanted to sell his stock. Of course, he had to sell the stock because he had options coming due. So he sold the stock so he could pay the taxes. So he owns even more stock now.
Oh. How funny.
He pawned the media again.
He owns 564,000 more shares than he did when he sold the shares.
The rich gets richer.
He's exercising options to buy with the cash he makes from the shares he's selling. So he's exercising at $6.24 a share, which is 1% of its actual stock price. So in other words, it's kind of like this. If I gave you, Ant, $1 to make $100, that would be a good deal for me.
For you.
All right. So that's what happened. Wow. You know what? It's funny how the truth is different from what you read.
This is the case all along. Anybody with any savvy about this, but my dear friends in media said, oh, boy.
We fell for it because
Twitter.
Well, we listened to him, and that's what he said he was going to do. So, you know.
And he pawns it. He pawns everybody every chance he gets.
He pawns us, yeah. Hey, my plug, you plug barbecue sauce. My plug is Salt from my son, Salt Hank.
Yay.
For the first time ever available.
Get 'em, Hank.
Not available in stores. These are the debut salts. Calabrian Pesto Flaky Sea Salt Blend, Essential Flaky Sea Salt Blend, Truffle and Garlic Flaky Sea Salt Blend. You know what? You should just not use it. Put it aside someday. It's like owning the original Chef Boyardee can. That's what I'm saying. SaltHank.com. He's on his way, buddy. SaltHank.com. Look at that. Cacio e pepe.
Beautiful.
No.
I love it. Thank you.
The mustache.
Yeah, the stash. It's in his logo now. He's really stuck with it. It's permanent.
Well, not just the stash. The fact that he has to barely not shave his chin, too.
This is him. How he's been ever since he was about 4 or 5 years old. So
that beautiful B-roll.
Yeah. It's great. Anyway, thank you, everybody. And thank you to our elf in the shelf, little Leo, for kicking
well done.
in the head.
Jeremy.
Nice.
Let's see. Where can we find Stacey Higginbotham? That's what the world wants to know. And you'll find her at staceyoniot.com. That is her website. Sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Check out the events and, of course, all the articles, plus the IoT podcasts with Kevin Toffel every week. Lots of goodness there.
We recorded our 350th episode. We're not This Week in Google level, but for an independent podcast, high fives for Kevin and I. I'm so proud of us.
Hey.
Well done. Congratulations. That's a lot of work. I know.
It is.
Have you been, that sounds like you've been doing it for 7 years. Is that right?
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
We're 7 years come April. And we did it before at GigaOM, but this is 350 from the end of GigaOM.
Oh, wow. All right.
And the IRC sends its congratulations to you.
That's really a big deal.
Thanks, IRC.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ant Pruitt. Twit.tv/hands-on-photography/hop.
That's right.
What should we do at the hop? What's going on at the hop?
Well, this week I had the pleasure of talking to Mr. Peter Adams. He was previously on Floss Weekly because he did the Faces of Open Source. And it's such a beautiful photography project. Dealing with a lot of folks in the tech industry.
That's neat.
Our days of yore. So I wanted to pick his brain a little bit about headshots and portraits, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's fantastic. Twit.tv/hop. Let's all go to the hop.
That's right.
Mr. Jeff Jarvis, we got a little song about you, Jeff. We'd like to sing.
We don't have to do it every time. We don't have to do it. It's okay.
Jeff is the director of the Townite Center for Entrepreneurial Journalism at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York. Frank Sinatra called him a bum. Former TV Guide critic, Ray Kroc called him a nickel millionaire. He's our one and only king of the moral panic, Jeff Jarvis.
King of the moral panic.
Gutenberg.
I like that.
Thank you all for being here. I love doing this show every Wednesday. It's a great capper to my week because I don't work on Thursday and Friday. We hope you will come back every Wednesday around 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2200 UTC. The live audio and video streams are at live.twit.tv. If you're watching live, you can chat live at irc.twit.tv. That's open to all Club Twit members. Welcome to chat in the Discord, too. We pay attention to both. On-demand versions of the show available at twit.tv/twig. There's also a YouTube channel dedicated to This Week in Google, so you can watch the video there. Probably the easiest thing to do, audio or video, is subscribe in your favorite podcast client. No charge for doing that. Just get a client, search for Twig or Twit, and you can add all the Twit shows if you want. That way you'll get them the minute they're available. And please do leave us a 5-star review if you think of it. It would sure help us spread the word. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on This Week in Google.
Android is constantly evolving, and if you're part of the Android faithful, then you'll be just as excited about it as I am. I'm Jason Howell, host of All About Android, along with my co-hosts Florence Ion and Ron Richards, where every week we cover the news, we cover the hardware, and we cover the apps that are driving the Android ecosystem. Plus, we invite people who are writing about Android, talking about Android, and making Android onto the show. Every Tuesday at twit.tv, look for All About Android.